It's a
You
chicken.
went a different way to what I expected. And,
What's up, guys?
Talking to the dog, by the way, it was unexpected as well.
Hey, well, that's the thing. I mean, you do things that
I have that ability, and
Yeah.
I'm going to use it.
Oh, why not?
Yeah,
I mean, you do
enough,
things that you don't normally do, or it's random. I mean, just things will come up, and you'll make a decision on the spot as a player. I mean, we all do it. I mean, you guys do it, and the curse
absolutely.
all the time. I mean, something will happen. You go, fuck, we got to go do this, and we're going to go do that, and it's like shit.
Okay, so I'm confused now. What have I missed?
Everything.
No, Zadriel. I know she's pissed off, but
Yeah.
No.
She is not.
She's sick, so she's staying out.
Oh,
She
today.
yeah, she's
Oh, good.
and
That's
the thing
good.
is, she has disappeared on you guys, so she's actually not. She is not going to be available this evening.
oh shit, we're all going to die.
On that note too, I think I gave you guys an invite link for the VTM guys in Discord for the Vampire the Masquerade stuff.
You did? You did?
I think I did. Check the all D and things D&D. There's possibly. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. No, maybe I didn't. Never mind. I'll do that.
That I did see a link when you were testing something with Drax.
Oh, that was for
but that's
Foundry.
That's since disappeared.
Yes, it has.
But there's nothing else.
No, there is. If you scroll up above Grimm's thing about Mr. Singh, right above that is a Roll20 link for.
What's that do?
That's for the Vampire the Masquerade audio.
Yeah, I've already got that. Never mind.
Because I found a bunch of audio files that'll be suited for Vampire the Masquerade. So, make sure you guys grab that.
All things D&D, was it?
All things D&D. You'll have to scroll up a bit. What I'll do is I'll pin it. What we're going to do is hit the pin. So it has been pinned. So at the top of that, top of Discord, you'll see the pin. Hit the pin messages, and you'll get that link. That'll give you the invite link for the Vampire Masquerade audio through Roll20. That's for you too as well, Magic. If you want it, when you do make other appearances, that'll be available for you also.
So what's the link part? Clicking on it does nothing.
Should take you to. It should take you to Roll20.
So
hang on. I didn't link the link. I didn't pin the link, but.
God, it's not just me. I was thinking, what do I click here?
So I have one question for you, Sadiq. Is she going to be watching to see if we fuck up or die?
She is on her computer. Whether or not she's watching, I don't know.
Right, so the link's been pinned now as well. The link's at the very top.
Got it.
All right, so the link's there now. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so the link is now there. So we welcome everyone to another Wednesday night. Curse of Strahd. Sunday night went exceptionally well. Just to let you guys know how well we've done with that on YouTube. I posted the YouTube video on 2 days ago, and we currently are sitting at 35 views on our YouTube VOD, which is the highest views I've had on any of our D&D stuff. So obviously Vampire the Masquerade is extremely popular in the YouTube world. Obviously I've chosen the right thumbnail. It's gotten people interested. So we've gotten in 2 days 35 views. I'm absolutely wrapped with that. So it's amazing. So make sure you guys, I haven't even checked to see how many likes we've got. Yeah, we've got a few, but that's cool. That's even with my audio being stupid loud on that VOD for some reason. So I have turned down my microphone in OBS. Hopefully that will not be as loud compared to the other guys. We will see. But we should be good. Anywho, so speaking of audio, we better go turning that on. Audio is on. So we should get started with this evening's show. You will notice that Zadriel is not in camera. Obviously, she was not with the party when they left Valaki. So she is missing currently. Whether she returns this evening or not will remain to be seen. But last we left off, you'd all returned to Valaki to buy and sell and rest up. Zadriel had stopped by the Vaktas to try and convince Carl to rendezvous with Emilia for the evening. Sadly, though, as the evening drew to a close, Nikolai turned up at the Blue Water Inn in his place, informing Emilia that Carl would not be coming. With that, she decided she wanted to go find Vasily instead and have a chat with him. With the aid of a raven from the top of Blue Water Inn, she was led to Vasily's home in the north of Valaki. Albeit darkened and dustied windows, she tapped on the window for an extended period of time, but no one answered. All she succeeded in doing was upsetting a neighbor. But through the course of the evening, several dreams were had. Adok's newly renewed memory weighing heavy on his mind, remembering his previous party's demise and all its gory detail, seemed to definitely have an effect on him. Zadriel dreamt of home and Falcon, her fiancé, and what wakes with her is the fading voice of Strahd echoing in her mind. The evil laugh and statement that was left, having her wake with a start. The next day, some of you set out to buy a cart or wagon to make travelling easier. Others headed their way into town, agreeing to meet back at the Blue Water Inn later that day to head out towards the ruins of Perez to complete your mission of the seed for the winery. However, upon returning to the inn, everyone was there except for Zadriel. After much discussion and aid from a letter that Skatis had found on her bed and a raven sent by Erwin Martikov, she was seen heading west, leaving Valaki towards the western side of the town. Eventually, deciding that time to go see if we can find her, you left the town by the same gate, utilizing your new cart. And when I say new, I use that term very loosely. And your trusty druid as a steed, but you head out nonetheless. Leaving the western gate, traveling along the road somewhat, not finding any signs of Zadriel, however. After discussing further what you should do, you decided that finding the Vistani camp that was near Valaki is your best course of action, thinking Zadriel may be heading there to find a way home. So this is where we pick up with you guys now. You are traveling along the old Slavitz road, heading towards the crossroads which will lead you to the south. So currently, zoom in a bit here, you guys have just crossed this small bridge over the Luna River and about ready to approach the crossroads. I need all of you to make a perception roll for me, please. Because I assume that you will all be keeping a weathered eye for your missing companion.
$15.
15, 13, 12, 11. Ismark is going to make a roll as well. Where is Ismark? Perception. Ismark rolls a 13 also.
6.
6 familiar as your
11.
horse.
11.
11. So the maximum was 15. As you all continue along your travels, before you turn, trying to see any kind of sign of where Zadriel may or may have traveled this road or not, you do not see anything at this point. You continue. Turn that music down a little bit. Continue along your way, turning left at the crossroads, now heading south. After about 10 or 15 minutes, you leave the old Slavich road and are now more on what's more of a track than a road. There's a lot more bumpy. The rickety / cart is holding together. It's definitely sturdy, but it is creaky and loud. Emilia, you would have to slow a little so that you do not shake your passengers free of this cart. Is a little bumpy. You know you're only going to be able to travel maybe another 40 minutes down this road before you're going to have to find a crossing to the river, head back into the forest to find this camp, as Adok's memory has served him, and he seems to think that somewhere down here is going to be a crossing, and that you should be able to cross with the cart. Is there anything you wish to discuss before we travel any further? You know?
So, where's this crossing? Is it like a bridge or something, or
no bridge. Doc, are you thinking there is a shallow part, maybe a mile or two down the road? Might be able to get a cart across there. It is the only way. Otherwise, we'd have to leave cart on this side and walk.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that. It's probably the best bet.
what? Walk?
No, try to cross the shallow bit.
All right. And where's that?
Another mile or two, give or take. Keep an eye out on the left-hand side. River. Because as you're looking over towards the river, what you're seeing as you're traveling down this track is about 4 or 5 feet to the left of this track is almost a sheer dropping about 12 or 14 feet into the river below. But it seems to be that drop off is, as you're traveling, is getting less and less steadily. So it is running downhill and running into a more sort of settled area. I need someone. Who was the last one that rolled a d20 for me? I'm trying to think who did that last time. I think it was Emilia. So, Skatus, I will get you to roll a d20 for me, please. 3.
Yep.
As you continue your journey, you all hear it first, and then you see it. You hear a soft whimpering or whining just ahead as you sort of turn a shallow bend in this road. And then you see a large dog walk slowly out from behind a tree. It seems to have hurt itself. It's limping quite badly on one of its front legs, and it's sort of every now and again pulls it up against its body to not put pressure on it. Doesn't seem to be aggressive. It sort of looks up and hears you coming, looks up and sort of whines and whimpers at you guys, turns its head slightly. Do you guys stop or do you carry on?
I don't know if you all see that dog. I haven't seen Zadriel anywhere. I don't know what to do without someone to take charge. What do we do, Adok?
But we'll keep going. I mean, that dog's gonna end up dead anyway. We've got more important things to do.
Can Zadriel turn into a dog, Fibble?
I've never seen it do it before. So
The dog looks
I'll go
fairly.
with no.
The dog looks like it's pretty close to death. I'm with that dog. I don't think it will survive.
Yeah. I mean, we won't really. I guess the cart's still moving along at this stage.
It's still moving along, and as you get closer and near closer, you look at it, and this dog is pretty messed up. Got a large open wound on its left flank. Looks like it's been attacked by another dog, or more than likely a wolf. It's pretty well messed up.
Scafus, do you want a pet dog?
What would I want a pet for?
Yeah.
It could play fetch.
With what?
I don't know. Adult.
Amelia, nod your head like as you're walking, or running. Nod your head if you want a pet dog.
Emily is going to just not nod.
Okay.
I don't think her perception's high enough to even notice the thing.
Everyone would have seen it. Actually, no, Emily probably would not have. She'd be too busy focusing on what she's doing, but she doesn't respond, doesn't nod her head.
I pull out 2 daggers because I'm not caring about daggers, and I just throw them both at the dog.
Roll a hit.
Oh, that was just about a natural 20. 10 for the first one. And 26 for the second.
First one misses, goes slightly wide. The dog sort of steps and stumbles, and it goes over its right shoulder. Second, you don't need to roll for damage. It only had 1 hit point. So it was pretty messed up. But yeah, you fired the second dagger mercifully, ending this poor animal's life. As you get close down and pass by it, do you stop to get your daggers, or just leave them there?
No, we're travelling at a reasonable pace.
You are going at a reasonable pace, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's only 2 daggers. It's fine.
So as you get close enough to see it, yeah, you could tell it wasn't going to survive very long at all. It had some pretty nasty wounds. And it's about that time you hear the baying of wolves nearby. So pretty certain that wolves have probably mauled this dog and possibly its owner. So as you continue along your journey, eventually you do find that the drop off to the river has become quite shallow, probably shallow enough to cross within that you can tell. So Ismark at this point says, Emilia, stop here. We'll check river here, please.
Emilia slows and moves to a stop.
Ismark disembarks from the cart and walks down to the river. Cheers, JJ, for the sub. Appreciate it. And sort of puts his foot in at the edge and sort of looks across the river. It's only about 10 or 15 feet wide at this point. It's kind of narrowed quite down. Takes a couple of steps into the river and sort of says, I think this will be fine right here. Should be able to cross here. And across you can see a small clearing on the other side as well, where it looks like people probably have made camp here in the past. It's definitely somewhere this is reasonably well traveled. The grass has been trampled in some places, but do you wish to take the cart across fully laden, or are you all going to disembark and move across as a group?
Can Adult determine at all how strong the current of the river is moving? If it seems like it would be smarter to get off it and try and help, or just go straight through?
Yeah, if you want to roll a perception check to have a actually perception to see whether you can determine the current.
Yeah, cool. Adult would just pick up a rock and throw it in and try and
Okay.
find that's gonna fucking sink. But a piece of wood or a stick or something.
Well, you throw something in it, and it's reasonably swift, but it doesn't look deep. Ismark's about 2 or 3 feet standing into the in the water, and he is maybe ankle deep at most.
Cool.
So it doesn't look very deep at all.
All right, cool.
And he
Yeah,
he sort of says, it's not too swift. So yeah, you determine it's not a raging river. It definitely runs faster in other parts of this area, but this is not too bad. So Ismark says, I guess I'll lead the way. And he starts heading across the river cautiously, like he's stepping here and there, just to make sure doesn't slip, which he does, and doesn't go completely like arse over kite, but he does slip and catch himself, ends up down on one knee, and ends up in it. When he's down on one knee, the water's sort of right up to his chest. It's at its deepest, looks like it's maybe about 4 feet deep at most. He sort of stands up, dripping wet, and says, well, I think this is as deep as it gets about here. We should be okay to bring Kat across. Fibblestip, maybe you stay on Kat. You might get swept away or drown.
I was thinking me and Adok stay on the cat.
Ah, yes,
The rest of you
yes.
suckers walk.
Little people stay up there. You should be fine.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Carlos obliges.
Emily will follow Ismark in.
So
I'll follow along behind the cart.
Ismark sort of stays waiting for Emily to lead up, and he grabs the part of the reins that hook Emily up to it, and sort of leads the cart and then Emily across. Nice Dex roll there.
It's still 17.
So that's pretty good. So you managed to pick your way through the rocks and bits and pieces. Skathis and Karnos, I'll need you both to make dex rolls as well, dex checks, just to see if you can hold your footing as we cross. Skathis is fine.
12.
Karnos is fine. A little slower, but managed to get across. You might catch the side of a rock a couple of times as you walk and sort of misstep, but you're okay.
I think it's that limp he's got.
Yeah, that's true. It probably is.
Definitely more sure-footed than me. I fell on my ass.
I would help him get up too.
And eventually you guys all make it across to the other side. Now, looking around you, I need you... who do I need? Need you all to make a perception roll again. As looking into the forest, it's pretty dense. Like, the trees are relatively close together. Karnos, you look in there and this looks like a thick forest to you. You don't see any way through whatsoever. Skathis, you're sort of looking through and you can sort of see almost like a pathway. It's not something that has been made, but it looks like there's a natural sort of weaving through the trees, which would be big enough to get the cart through, just. Adok, sort of, again, thick, dark forest. Mist is hanging heavy as it always is. You're worried, definitely, about going into this part of the forest, but you're pretty certain you're on the right track. Bibble, what was your roll?
10.
10? Yeah, you've sort of... You can sort of see it, but you're not convinced that you're going to get the cart through there.
I'm looking at my hose.
Once we get across the river, Adok's going to point his fingers at Emilia and whisper Mektuk, cast message. And he's not sure if it's going to work, but he's going to try it and see if she can respond. And he's just going to say, "Can you respond? I'm speaking to you in your head."
Can I respond?
Yeah, well, you understand common, so you can speak back to him in language that he is talking to you in. You can respond.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Then Ad's got to turn around. All right, everyone. I can actually listen to Emilia and talk and ask her questions and respond and stuff. So, got it sorted.
That's amazing.
Oh, really?
Is that true?
This
You
is
can
good.
speak with animals.
Yeah.
No, I can,
I thought Zadriel was only one who could talk to horse.
I can't really just speak to animals. It's more like a telepathic sort of message thing. I can do it to anyone really that understands, well, common.
That's very, very handy.
But that will certainly help in our journey. So
You could talk to Scaphus.
I saw. So we're heading to Vistani camp, yes? Now, you guys.
Yeah.
Before we go, you understand that Vistani are loyal to Strahd. Before we proceed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's why we're trying to get Zadriel back before she makes a serious mistake.
And understand this. What I'm saying is, what is your plan? Are you going to attack Vistani? Are you going to talk to Vistani? What is plan of action?
Yeah, that's Zadriel. Oh,
I think we're just gonna wing it, won't we?
We
'Cause,
also
you know,
have, I don't know if you can hear this, but we also have Wolf to worry about in forest.
yeah. Scaphus, you've got plans, right? Make a plan, because this is normally what Zadriel does, right? She tells us what to do, we do it, everything works out right.
You want me to make a plan?
Yeah.
So you want us to die? Okay.
I think it would be better if we got Emilia to make the plans.
All right.
Well, she's a horse right now.
Okay, anyone but Scathers?
Emilia,
like that
you've
idea.
got about an hour left before your shapeshift ends, too, by the way. Just so you know.
I'm going to say this. We're going to need to keep moving because in an hour's time I'll be person again. And then we'll need to rest.
And all you guys hear is...
And hopefully Adok can hear me.
He can't because he didn't speak to you first. Everyone just hear Emilia neighing and winning, and her head's up and down and shaking her head side to side as if she's trying to say something.
See, I don't think she likes the idea of Scathers being in charge.
Carlos opens the rations and like goes up to her front and like, you know how you feed a horse with a flat hand?
Yeah.
He goes, pats her on the head and goes, "Oh, good girl, you've done a great job. You want some food?"
Emilia bites his wrist.
Crunch on the wrist. No damage,
Ow.
but
Hopefully on the armor.
Adolf's gonna cast message again to Emilia, and just say, "Do you want to try that again? I've got to set. I have to do the one to make you speak."
Okay, I've got probably, I don't know, an hour or so before my shape's just going to drop. So we need to keep moving.
All right, so Emily doesn't have a plan, but she's got an hour left on her shapeshift and says we need to keep moving. So here's the plan. We go in to the Vistani. Obviously, we look for Zadriel. She's trying to get out. Vistani, loyal to Strahd, probably we're not going to let her get out. So if anything, we're probably going to see a bunch of dead bodies around or a giant plated, armoured Zadriel smashing other stuff. So, and if they don't have her, we just keep going to the gate.
Yeah, that
Essentially.
works. Yeah, there's plan. We have plan.
Does sound like a plan I can work with.
I don't understand why Zadriel finds it so hard. That was easy, I think.
Hang on, so we get there, and if she's not smashing people, we smash people?
You're saying you're going to the gate. Which gate are you talking about? The gate to Barovia?
Yeah, like the first one before the. What's that town that we went to with the creepy kids? That was
That is the village of Barovia, my home. You will not get through that gate again. Once it is closed, it is closed.
Yeah, right. But I kind of think that she's not in the Vistani trying to get out. Her only course of action must be to go to where we started from. So she'd probably head that way.
Do you not also have job finished for winery?
Yeah, but who cares about that? We can't survive here without Zadriel, and she won't survive. And you know it. We need everyone.
This is true, but she also have 2 or 3 hours head start on you. Not easy to find someone here. Chances are Strahd has her already.
Yeah,
This much you must have to understand and maybe let it sink in a little bit before you carry on. If she left on her own into forest to wander, maybe try and get out, Strahd will not let her leave. If she is on her own, chances are Strahd has either killed her or captured her.
Right.
I pray that is the former, because if he has captured her, it is not good.
What we can do, you were saying, Carnos.
Sorry, mate. I was just saying. Well, I mean, you're so grim about it, Ismark. She could still be walking. She might not have been killed nor captured yet. We may well find her.
You have no way of knowing which way she went.
That's a defeatist attitude. Not only do we have no way of knowing, we just have all the luck in the world, right, guys? Right.
I
do applaud your.
Since I met you, actually.
I do applaud your fervor and wish to find your friend, but in this place, being on your own is a death sentence.
Yeah, well, we kind of lost a little halfling girl that we had at the beginning, and I don't like really losing people. That kind of sucks.
I understand, but if
you
send
her home,
as I say, if you are to find a way out yourself, by all means, visit Vistani. If you do not find Zadriel there, I suggest you maybe complete your promise to the Martikovs, at the very least, and maybe they can help you find out where she went.
Well, if the Vistani are working for Strahd, obviously they must have a way to contact him. So if Strahd's got her, then maybe we can just strike a deal with Strahd or something. Look, we have to try. I don't care what the chances are, but we've got to do something. Otherwise, she's going to die.
I agree. We definitely have to try. I mean, of course.
Is Mark, your sister, she's not doing so well, is she? She hasn't been.
She is being okay. She is getting better.
Yeah.
Since Strahd has not been able to get to her.
How long have you been trying to fix her, heal her?
You guys, what, a month since you guys arrived? She was only bitten days before you arrived.
So you've been sort of trying to help her out for a month, right?
She is better.
Yeah. So, I mean, we don't really want to give up on our friend after only 4 hours.
I'm not saying give up. I'm just saying be realistic. If Irina was out wandering Rofia, I would be feeling the same way.
Yeah.
But Irina's not Zadriel. Zadriel kicks ass.
You do not know my sister very well. Irina will kick your ass all over town when she is strong. You'll see.
Whilst this conversation is happening, Adok would then have cast a message to Emilia and just said, "We don't have time. We've got to go in that forest."
Well, we have what you say hour before Emilia switches back to human form. So, if you are going to Vistani, let's go. It should only be about an hour to get to where the clearing is to pick up. But you must have a plan. Are you going to talk or are you going to fight? If you're going to fight, we must hatch a plan of action.
Talk then fight.
See, plans are more Zadriel thing. We're more wing it type thing. We go in and if we're gonna kill him, we kill him. If we're not gonna kill him, we don't kill him. Yeah, that works.
Right. So back on the gut then.
All right. Okay.
Emilia is going to whisper and say, "Can you hear me?" Just, you probably wouldn't notice a horse doing anything other than being a horse.
Again, All anyone hears.
Emily will say, if they've hurt Zadriel, I'm going to kill everyone in that camp.
Again, Emilia's head is rearing up and down and side to side, and she's whinnying and baying quite vigorously.
Adok's going to cast message again and just go, what are you trying to say?
I was just wondering if you could hear me.
Well, I can if I send message, but I've got to do the spell. You've got to... All right. You just neigh
Okay.
when you want to speak.
Okay, next time I want to speak, I'll turn around and look at you. Like, turn my head around. Because at least I can do that. Because I've got a long neck.
And bite him on the head.
So
Okay.
with that, you all, those that are getting back on the cart, get back on the cart. Ismark embarks again. And you set out slowly but surely through the winding trees of the Slavic forest. It is slow going. The trees, it is thick, the mist is heavy. The baying of wolves ever present, as they always are in Barovia. And before long, you get to a place where the trees are starting to thin out, just a little. And as you get closer, you can now hear the faint sounds of music. Again, lyres and lutes, very kind of vigorous music. Again, gypsy music, that same music that you remember hearing when you first entered Giovanni's camp about a month ago. Similar sort of tempo and that. And as you get closer and closer, the music gets louder. And eventually, in the shadow of the trees, you can see the circle of wagons and tents that would lead you to believe that this is the encampment you're looking for. Right about that time, Emily, you know your spell is about to end. Or your ability is about to end, should I say. So you bring yourself to a stop, and what do you do?
Yeah, she'll bring herself to a stop. She'll look over her shoulder at the group, so they know, and then just sort of wedge the cart up against the tree so it can't go anywhere.
Ismark sort of looks at you guys and looks back and thinks, I think Emilia wishes to be free of that. And he hops down and starts unharnessing you.
Yeah, Karnos gets off and does the same on the other side because, he oh, that's right.
So as you guys continue, you break down the harness, let Emilia step out from under the bars and let the cart rest on the ground. And Emilia then, within sort of 5 or so minutes of that, shifts back into her human form. So you guys are about 150 feet from this camp.
Has anyone got any chain?
What?
We don't want our cart to go walkies, right? We don't know what these Vistanis are like. We don't want to come back and find that someone's removed both wheels off and it's on like, chop blocks.
I don't think anyone's gonna steal it, Carlos.
Yeah, but look at it.
It's pretty
piece of money.
to be honest.
Yeah, we spend a lot of cash on that.
I mean, look at Vistani wagons. You think they want to steal yours?
Oh, look over. How far away are the Vistani?
They're about 100 feet, but even from here, they look pretty good. Covered wagons. There's ones that look like little houses. They're pretty impressive.
I'll tell you what.
If anyone looks at our cart, they're going to think, well, that's a piece of shit. No wonder they left it here.
If these guys end up being assholes and we have to hero them to death, we are taking one of their carts.
So, you know how somebody had a whip before? Use that to tie off the cart.
Yeah, looking at the cart, I think the guys are right, Emily. Yeah,
don't want to waste your whip.
Yeah. The whip's more for ladies. Horses.
Yeah, it's to motivate the horse. So,
Adoc's going to walk up to Emilia after she's done shapeshifting.
And
I didn't mean to interrupt.
oh, where you go.
No, you go.
Yeah, after Adoc's just going to say, Emilia, how many times can you do that? Can you turn into something else? I'm thinking maybe someone should scout ahead a little bit. Maybe look for Zadriel first before we go charging in.
I can shapeshift twice in a day, but after that, then I need to have a rest.
Can you maybe control an animal or something to do it for us?
I don't think I have that ability. But I mean, I can transform one more time. But if we need to get out of here in a hurry, then I won't be able to turn into a horse again.
Yeah. Also,
Won't the Vistani have horses there?
that's a good point.
yeah.
There are. You can see that the horses they do have been tied up in the tree line, got water and hay. They're about 80, 90 feet to your left from your current position. So there are horses.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if they get hostile, we get a cart and a horse, right? If they don't get hostile, we get nothing, so we don't lose anything. You could be onto something here.
Yeah, but we just walk up to the, they're not evil.
I don't think so.
Well, yes and no. They are opportunistic.
Yeah, so but so's what's his face? The little green dude. He's opportunistic.
Of
He
course.
likes money.
This is the thing. If you have the right amount of money, they may help you. If not, they will not.
That's a
Gypsies,
valid
it's
point.
what they do.
So wait a minute. So they're not really loyal to Strahd.
Oh,
they're
they are
loyal
loyal
to
to him.
Strahd's
They-
money.
Yes and no. I have not heard of Vistani helping anyone to leave, if that's what you're asking. It is said that they have ways to leave, but I'm not sure that they will help you. Unless you have lots of money. Maybe.
Is it safe bet, maybe, guys, that I go up, I put my axe and shield on my back, and I just walk into the camp on my own, and just say, "G'day, Vistani people," and just ask if they've seen Zadriel. If they say yay or nay, or check if they're suspicious. You guys will wait in the wings, and if some shit goes down, then you back me up from a distance, and I can sort of take the forefront. That would work, right?
Take Scathus with you as well, because he needs to be up front anyway.
Yeah, Scathus, you and me.
Probably good plan.
Just don't let Scathus do the talking.
No, he'll be
They
like,
would have no idea what he's going on about.
yeah, good idea.
Also, too, just careful how you say things and what you say.
What do you mean?
Will, again, Vistani are loyal to Strahd. If you give them information, they may pass it on.
Oh,
Just
right,
be aware.
yeah. Okay, well, I'll
To
do
be
that.
To be fair, there's not really much that Strahd doesn't know here.
This is also true. He has ways to find out things that he wants to know.
Yeah, he's a slimy bugger. All right, Scathus, let's roll on in there, mate. Casual, calm. No need to be sneaky. We're just coming in as friendly neighbours, looking for our friend to see if they've seen her. Sound good?
All right. What is signaling in case things go wrong?
Usually it'll be someone's head coming off their shoulders.
It is
Right,
a
so
little
when
bit far
Carlos
away. If we cannot see this, what is signal?
Oh, Scathus?
150 feet, I can see that easily.
If they're behind wagons and tents, probably not so much.
Good point.
Ideas?
If you see someone being thrown over a wagon or past a wagon, that's a good sign.
Okay, we watch out for flying bodies.
Or not now. I think it's probably better that they just stay in line of the road. Don't go around corners.
If you could stay in line of sight, this would be good. But
We'll give that a go. Maybe I'll bang my axe on my shield 3 times. Bang, bang, bang. If it gets crazy and we're out of sight.
all right, this will be good. Yes, do that.
Or maybe I could come with you guys and I could just shoot a firebolt up to the sky.
Yeah, maybe you hang back like a little bit though, just because we don't want you to get in amongst people if it gets messy. That's all.
All right, well, whatever we do, we've got to do it fast because there's wolves on one side, Vistani the
Yeah.
other side. So my knees are
Right.
starting to shake a little bit.
Yes, and
You're right.
and as if I say, if Strahd has Zadriel, then there's a chance he may exert his power once again, show you maybe that you are not so strong.
Yeah. All right. That's good. Adult, you stay about 30 meters behind us, and we'll go to a sort of a safe-ish place to say hello.
All right. Yeah, I'll aim back when you get about close, but just before you do, I'm gonna give you a little bit of bullyag magic to help you out. All right? You're gonna do a talking, yeah, or escape visit?
I think I will. Yeah. Scafer's not really not. I mean, listen to him. He's chip it, chappy, chip it all the way. No. Yeah. I think me.
All right. Well, just let me know when you get close, and I'll help you out. All right?
Sweet. All right.
So
So we start walking down.
with that, Fibblesib, Emilia, and Ismark hang back and wait by the cart. Trying to keep line of sight on you as you walk forward. Skathis and Karnos lead the way. Fibble hangs back a little bit, and you head towards the Vistani camp. As you get close, you do hear the voices, male and female, singing, drinking, laughing, the clinking of bottles, the campfire. It's more of a bonfire than the campfire. It's right in the center. That looks like they're having a pretty good time, which
How
seems to be
many
the
roughly?
way. Roll a perception check.
Perception.
Perception.
Yeah. No, I can't really tell through all that.
Yeah, it's
bloody-
kind of hard. There's with the bonfire,
3.
the tents and stuff around. Kind of hard to tell. You can see maybe half a dozen from where you are, but with the amount of tents and stuff there, it could be 2 dozen, could be 2 or 3 dozen. You're just not sure.
Is it coming into dark as well? Is it?
No, you're about just after midday.
Okay.
So it's still dark and dingy here anyway. It always is.
Oh yeah. Of course.
It's always cloudy and it almost feels like it's on the verge of nightfall all day, every day here. Just gets ever so much darker at night. But you approach. You get about 60 feet away. Adok, you want to do something as they got closer?
Yeah, Adult will just walk up to Karnos and just touch him on the leg, as wherever he can reach, and just cast guidance on him. And you're just going to hear from Adok, you're just going to hear him chant Gildrath over
Okay.
as he touches you.
What does guidance give me?
D4 once. It's up to a minute, so you've got a minute to use it.
Got a minute to get
Okay.
a D4 on a skill check, I believe, or a save.
Yeah.
So with that, Adok hangs back. Skathis and Karnos, you approach the camp. As you approach the camp, Karnos, sort of looking
Yeah.
around, you reach the first set of wagons, getting a little closer, and the one face that you probably didn't think you were going to see here, but a face you recognize instantly, is Giovanni.
Ah.
Vistani that brought you here. Well, that was at the camp that in the Sword Coast before you arrived here. You're not sure if he specifically brought you here, but he's the
But
one
yeah,
that
we
gave
saw
you the invitation or the letter which brought you
Sweet.
here.
So seeing
And
him
he's
is something.
standing at the fire, sort of with a bottle of brandy, it looks like, swinging back on a bottle of brandy.
I pick up pace. I go, Scafus, that's Giovanni, mate. And I go, excuse me, Giovanni, hello. And I put my hand up, sort of, my
And
weapons are on
he
my
sort
back.
of
And I put
raises
it
his
in
head, looks around. Oh, my friend, come closer. Come, sit, drink.
the- Sweet. Come
You found your
sit
way,
down
I
with him.
see. You found us. Good to see you again. Come. Where's the rest of your friends? There was more of you
so-
last time I saw you.
Yeah, they're hanging back a bit, you know. We weren't too sure what we were to expect in this place, but it's you,
Come
Giovanni.
sit. Come.
Yeah.
Everybody,
Sweet.
this is my friend Carnos and his red scaly skin friend from Sword Coast. Come.
Yeah,
Have a drink,
Scaphus.
sing and dance.
Yeah. Yeah, Squeak. I mean, we're on duty. We can't really do much drinking, but can I just ask you a question or two, mate?
Of course.
Hey, you haven't seen our friend with the hammer, the
Oh, the
I
pretty
haven't-
one, the pretty lady. No, we have not seen her. Not since
the
we
pretty-
left you at a month
No,
ago.
no. I think you're confused. Not the pretty one, the one with the armor and the hammer.
Yes, the pretty one. The
Oh, right, I thought you
one
might
with the
mean
yellow eyes and
Oh, yes,
yeah,
that's
the
her
pretty
yellow
one.
eyes. Yeah.
Pretty attractive lady.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, each to their own, Giovanni. Each to your own. Yeah, you haven't seen her at all.
No, not at all. I believe last time I saw all of you was about a month ago when we packed up camp. You was all sleeping, and we come back and you were gone. Yes,
Yeah.
Not sure how. I expected you found your way here at some point, and here you
Oh.
are.
Yeah. So, and yeah. Okay. So you haven't seen her at all. No passing
Not at
sign or
all. I'm
nothing?
sorry. No.
Do I believe him?
Roll inside. Skatus, if you want to roll inside as well, you may do so.
I'm going to use that D4 as well.
Don't forget, chat. You can give these guys help with your channel points.
That's 13 in total.
The D&D only one, so you got inspiration and the luck. Don't forget you can help these players there as well. So you have 13 and 9 to 19. He seems on the level. He hasn't seen, you believe hasn't seen Zadriel.
Okay.
Seems pretty truthful.
Oh, if someone was trying to get out of the land here, where do you think they would head to?
Get out of Barovia. Well,
Yeah.
which way did you come in?
Well, that's the hard part. You see, we woke up after chatting with you guys last round,
You did
And then
drink
we
a
woke
lot,
up-
I must say. It was
Yeah.
impressive.
and we kind of just woke up by the big gates. Well, not far from them.
Well, you cannot go through a gate. Once gate is closed, it is closed.
But what happens if
Uh,
someone opens the gate again from the other side to come in? Can I get out then?
This has never happened before. It's possible, but you would have no way of knowing. You would have to camp there and stay there indefinitely until the gate opened.
That's true.
It's possible, I guess.
How do you guys get in and out then?
Vistani free to go whenever we wish.
Oh, how do
This
you
is
score
this
that
is you remember story we told you at the camp
Yeah.
about the prince, and
Of course, yeah.
he is in debt with our people, so he allows us to leave whenever we wish.
Oh, so
we come and
Scaphus-
go.
I'm thinking Scaphus, and I'm not being rude to Giovanni. I'm just sort of leaning over to Scaphus. Maybe we have to become Giovanni. Can we become one of your people?
Unfortunately, it is a blood bond, family.
Oh,
You are not family. You could become part of Strahd's family. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. But no. Only way to be free of this place is to help Strahd.
all right.
Bring him back to what his former self was.
I'm gonna. Yeah, maybe we should just call our mates and because they're just waiting by our horse. Or actually, our horse is now a person. Nonetheless, I'll just call the other guys over because.
Yes, bring
clearly
everybody.
haven't seen her. They can
Everybody
come
have
have a
drink
chat.
and have food. And
And I step back out to the road where I can see them, and I give them the old come along signal. Just come on, guys, it's all good.
And Ismark turns to you, Fibble Sibbins, and Emily says, Carnos is calling us. It looks like
Is that-
it's okay.
Is that the signal?
No, he said
we kill them now?
shield bash 3 times, I believe.
No, that was if they were out of sight.
I don't know. We go see, yeah.
So we go in and kill everyone?
I call out,
play by
come
ear.
on, they're serving drinks and dancing. It's wonderful here.
Oh, now we definitely go in and kill everyone.
I don't like dancing either, so I'm okay with this.
It looks like he's been mind controlled.
So Ismark starts heading
Swear.
towards.
Yeah, I swear, if we go in there and he's dancing,
Just kill him anyway.
yeah, kill them all.
Yes, I agree. A limpy dancer is not fun. So they Skathis. Emilia and
Yeah,
Fibbles, do you follow Ismark as he heads towards the camp?
Yeah, I'd go in.
Adok, what are you doing?
Adok's gonna scan around the place from where he's standing, see if there's any weird movement, anything like that.
Perception.
With a 7.
What type of weird movement in particular are you looking for?
Like groups of people gathering from different areas and things like that, as if it looks like they're about to do a strike or something. Or people taking up arms.
You can't really tell from your position. Nothing looks too out of the ordinary.
Cool.
Eventually, you do see Skathis and not Skathis, Emilia and Ismark and Philsip start getting closer to you as they're heading towards the camp as well.
As they approach, I'm just gonna say to them, I'm gonna disappear for a bit and have a bit of a look around, see at these tents, see if maybe they're hiding something. You guys keep them entertained, yeah?
Be very careful. Vistani are shady people. Very smart.
Yeah, I'm pretty shady myself. I'll try my best.
Just be aware that if you get caught, it's not good for us.
Yeah, I'll try not to do that.
So with that, they walk past you. Well, Ismark walks past you.
As Emilia passes out, I could say, just if you get into trouble, just use that mind talky thing that you did when I was a horse. Then we should be able to come help you.
I will definitely be using that. Thank you. Emilia, thank you, by the way. And then Adok darts off.
Are we sure that was Adok?
He's acting a little strange, but lots of strange things have happened.
I think that's the first time I ever heard him say thank you. Especially to Emilia.
Things happen here in Barovia. Make people do strange things.
Didn't put his hand out for 2 coins.
Oh, wait a minute.
Maybe later.
Maybe he's had one of those pies again.
So with that, eventually you all join Panos and Giovanni. Greetings, come, everybody, sit, drink. New face, who are you? I've never seen you before. And Ismark says, Ismark, I'm from Valaki. Come, sit. Everybody welcome.
What are you drinking, Giovanni?
We have brandy, we have wine, we have mead, we have everything.
Oh,
Anything you
I'll tell
need.
you, Carlos opens his flasks and dumps them both out on the ground of the wine that was in them and empties them completely and goes, "May I please fill my flasks with mead?"
Of course. Come. Fill his bottles, fill flask with meat. Come. And you see a younger
I want
gentleman.
to give them a rinse out first.
A younger
Carlos.
gentleman
No,
comes
that-
over with a small tankard, like a little barrel, and just waits for you to hold up your flasks. And he doesn't even try and not spill any. He just doesn't care. Just glug, tops them up, and then fills them both to the brim.
Sweet. I take a swig from each before I cap him and put him back, and then I grab a mug.
Does anyone else join in the drinking? Ismark grabs a mug of mead as well, but you see he's sort of a little hesitant to drink it. He sits there nursing it, taking the occasional sip, as not trying to drink too much.
Going by a last encounter that we had with them, we did drink, we ended up sleeping, and we ended up here. So I'm not touching a damn thing.
Hey,
Skathis refuses to drink?
If you go with that theory, we'll drink, fall asleep, and end up back where we started.
Fine, you do that then.
I mean, you guys did drink a lot last time, and you did. You must have slept for a long time, yes. But when you went to sleep, we went back into town, come back, and you were gone. This was strange, but hey, at least you made it here, and you're here with friends. Right. All right, let's carry on. Music, please. And music starts up again, and a whole bunch of the gypsies, men and women, to start dancing around, stoke the bonfire up, and Giovanni sort of starts telling you about just general Vistani sort of traditions and laws that they often are shunned from town because of their ways, and everyone's afraid of them because they think that Strahd's this evil dude and he's not really that bad. He's just misunderstood.
Oh, so Giovanni, so hang on. So your opinion of Strahd is that he's actually an alright dude?
He is a great man. He was a great leader. Foul things were afoot and changed him. He is definitely different than he was many, many years ago. But we are trying to find a way to make it better.
Right. Because we were told, and I don't want you to take anything in the wrong way here, but we were told coming here would be dangerous to us because you side with Strahd, but you guys don't seem to hold any hatred towards us at all.
No, of course not. We are happy people. You seem like nice people. You are intelligent. Yes, you would find truth. We are sure of this. This is why you were chosen, because you will find truth and you will help Strahd. You're not here to destroy.
Sorry, what now? We were chosen.
Of course.
You know.
You specifically were chosen because you are smart men. Heroes help people, do they not?
I mean, we try, but some people are beyond help, unfortunately.
Yes, but Strahd is not beyond help. There is a way to help, for sure. 100% sure.
Do you know these ways?
Well, of course not. If we knew it, we would have done it already. But it has to be. Have to find it.
That's fair. Maybe next time I see Strahd, I might ask him some questions.
Yes. He always likes to.
Wait a minute. You've tried different ways? What have you tried?
We have tried resurrection, because he is dead. You know this, yes? But resurrection did not work. He is not dead. He seems a little confused.
He's more of the undead?
Yeah, if you could say that. But
dead.
He's dead, but not dead. But over the years, many of my family, many generations of Vistani have tried to find a way to free everybody of this. Without success.
Have any of you tried to de-undead him?
Not entirely sure how that would work, to be honest. I mean...
Well, I'd assume you'd have to fully kill him.
This is not what we want.
Him.
You must understand. We want to restore him to his former self, not to kill him. He's a great man. He's a great leader.
Did Strahd get turned into what he is by another of what he is?
No, I do not believe this is true. There are rumors of a journal. No one has ever found it, but there's a book that tells of his life and what happened to him. We have been searching for the book. You do have Strahd's journal.
Yeah, I'd be sitting there going...
Strahd's diary, yeah.
Really? There's a book, you say?
Yes. No one knows where it is. It has been lost many, many years. Many hundreds of years ago. There are other things as well that are supposed to help, but we are not sure what they are.
Just to interrupt here, does Strahd visit you in your campground?
We have not seen Strahd for some time. He does visit from time to time, yes.
So
these are his lands.
Do you keep sustenance for him? Just out of question. Should he stop by?
He generally takes his own. He does not need anyone to give it to him.
So you wouldn't have any just lying around?
What are you saying, young lady?
We all have our diets.
He seems a little weirded out by you. All right, okay. And while you guys are having this conversation, we're going to switch over to Adok. So Adok, what are you doing? I know you're going to be creeping around the camp, so first things first, you're going to need to make a stealth roll.
16.
as far as you know, you are stealthy as shit.
Yeah, I'd walk up to the back of a tent. Roughly, there's any tents that look like off the hidden path a little bit, if that makes sense.
Most of them seem to be in a circle around this bonfire. So think of a typical gypsy sort of setup. You've got all the wagons and tents set up in a circle around a large bonfire in the center. Most of the people are congregated in the center and dancing. Like, it's not a real tight group of circle.
Yep.
It is relatively spread out. So it's not dark, but it is definitely overcast and sort of shady anyway. So you get the impression there's a couple of tents that you could possibly get to without being seen, even a wagon or two as well.
Sorry, yeah. Alec would probably try to use his intelligence question mark to go towards any caravans or tents that look away from the group, because he's thinking that you probably wouldn't put, a captive right next to everyone else.
So you find the one that seems most out of the way. Roll a perception check.
17.
Yeah, you're easily enough to find. I mean, there is, I said, they're not tightly sort of around this bonfire. They are relatively spread out, so there is a few that are set back further from the rest. So you choose one and you head for it.
Yes. Try and head there without obviously being seen, and then try to go around the back of it. Is it a caravan or a tent?
It is. This one is looks like a caravan style cart. So it has this one looks a little more like a little house, like a little house truck, but it's a cart that's got a little thatched roof on it, a little door at the back. Mm-hmm. The wagon at the front's where you can see where the driver would sit, and it's got a couple of little round windows at the front there and a window on each side. You approach it, stop and listen for a bit. Doesn't seem like there's anyone inside.
Alec would just climb up onto one of the wheels and try and look through the window if he can. Take a look around to see if there's anyone approaching his way.
It doesn't take too much to climb up on the wheel. I mean, the typical wagon wheel's almost like ladders. So you do climb up there, and as you get up there, you peer into the window of this wagon, and it doesn't seem like there's anyone in there. It's a little shadowy. It's kind of hard to see. The mottled glass. It's not like typical clear glass. But it looks like it's empty. Doesn't look like there's anyone in there.
Right, yeah. Well, then, continue on to another one, but then trying to look back into the group and see if it still looks all right, like no one's hostile or anything like that.
Seems like the conversation is pretty amicable within the group. There's lots of laughter and no raised voices at this point. You make it to the next tent without being seen. This time it's a tent, almost like an old style soldier's tent. So it's peaked in the middle, kind of rounded with walls. You stand at the back, you sort of listen to see if you can hear movement or anything inside. You hear soft breathing, nothing like someone's not exhausted. It's just a slight sort of in and out breathing of someone's inside. So there's definitely someone inside this one.
Okay. If I can, I'd like to whip out my little pocket knife and just put a small incision.
Whip out his little knife.
Yeah. Make a small incision in the back, just enough so I can, or like a hole.
An eye hole type thing?
Yep.
I just need to make a quick perception roll here. As you grab your pocket knife out and make a small incision, you hear the person inside sort of go and goes back to that shallow, steady breathing. Seems male, definitely a deeper voice. As you sort of peer in, you got dark vision, yeah?
Yeah.
So as you peer in this dim light, it's inside this good-sized tent. It looks like it might hold about 5 or 6 people. You see a rather burly-looking, bearded gentleman, leg hanging off a low stretcher-type cot, leg hanging off one side, arm hanging off, hand on his chest. Looks like he's asleep.
All right. I guess with that, Ad, I could back away and then probably try and make his way back to his first starting point, I guess.
You're just going to remain hidden?
Yeah, if you can.
Yep. So we'll keep your current stealth check. A couple of rolls. Pretty lucky so far. So back to the group as Giovanni continues regaling stories of the Vistani and Barovian tales and laws, talking about werewolves and harpies and all manner of creatures that sort of live in these lands, witches and all sorts of stuff. A lot of it seems like fanciful tales, like tall tales. A lot of it doesn't seem like it would be overly true, although you have seen many strange things in Barovia thus far.
Well, that's awesome, Giovanni. I've never heard such tales before. I will add them to my regalia of tales that I shall tell when I am. And I guess I'm getting reasonably. I've had a few drinks now.
Yeah. So anyone who is drinking, this has probably taken course over maybe an hour or two. So Ismark is still nursing his first drink. He's being very wary and cautious. Fivelson, are you drinking?
No.
No. Skathis is definitely not.
Definitely not.
Giovanni has taken notice that you guys aren't drinking, and you do see him sort of look at you guys, not oddly, but just sort of every now and again he just shoots a glance your guys' way and offers you a bottle to see if you might accept. Do you just politely decline every time?
Yeah.
Yep.
Malia?
Don't feel like...
Obviously you would as well.
Emily will be sitting next to any Vistani male.
Of course she would.
And she'll be leaning with her head against him, not for what you're thinking, but merely to see if she can hear heartbeat. Like
you probably, it would be a younger Vistani at the campsite, definitely 100%, and he probably is quite happy to have the attentions of a young, attractive woman. Although you get the impression that the Vistani generally do not relate or involve themselves in relationships outside of Vistani themselves. But he's quite happy for you to lay your head on his shoulder, and you do definitely hear his heartbeat. Have you consumed any today? Since waking?
Not in a while, so I'll probably be drinking out of my flask. Or one of them.
Yeah, so I was just going to say, because if you haven't, you would probably have, being this close to a human,
Yeah, I was
you would
thinking
probably
that too.
you would probably be feeling a little uncomfortable as well.
I probably would be anyway.
Okay, so I'll get you to make a wisdom save anyway. We'll still be at your -2 because it's still the sun is still up. 14. It's not bad. It's not bad.
12.
12. Even 12's still pretty good. The heartbeat is strong and loud in your ear. You can also feel his pulse. Like, even though you can hear his heartbeat through your ear, but you can almost feel that of his heartbeat on the ear as well. It's almost, you can almost feel it on your fingertips and on your lips. It's an odd sensation, but you can almost sense and almost hear the blood running through his veins. It's a really intense kind of feeling.
Yeah.
But after a little while, as things seem to be going well.
Would this count as a short rest?
Yes, I think, yeah. You guys have been there for an hour or so, not really doing anything. So yeah, if you guys want to take a short rest, you can. Karnos, you'll need to make a con save. You're 4 in.
Yeah, at least 4.
It's not for how drunk you are. It'd be
Oh, good.
yeah, pretty good. You're definitely a seasoned drinker. You're good. Your pain is a lot better, however.
Yeah, it always helps. And I'd say that out loud. You know what I found, Giovanni, is that whenever I drink like this, the pain always goes away. One time, I was drinking so much, I was actually I was actually magically transported to a flying ship. There's like a ship in the sky, and I was in so much pain. And then I thought, I'm going to drink. And I thought, shit, am I dreaming this? But then next thing, these people, they tied me up and said, where did you come from, magic guy? And I was like, I'm not magic. And then they tied me up, and they took me to the this front area of this ship, and they said, we're going to take him to the Icarius Maximus, something or rather, I don't really know. And I was like, oh, I've heard that story, something like strapping wings. And they said, there ain't no wings. And I was like, oh, there ain't no wings? And they said, yeah, send him to the earth. And I was like, well, this is a little weird. And then I was actually working for a guy called Gorion, and I was like, Gorion, this isn't working out so good. They've tied me up. And then they threw me off the front of the flying ship. It was amazing. Luckily, I'd drunken so much that previous evening that I wasn't so sore. I mean, I was sore, but I was going to be much more sore if I hit the ground. And then, Grind's spell kicked in, and whoosh, I was back. Right back where I started, in the Sword Coast. I'll tell you what,
this is
it was
an amazing story. It is almost as good as some of mine. It's great.
Oh, you should hear about the time I was turned into a very elegant bird.
What type of bird?
I've heard
Swan,
that one.
a
Chicken.
peacock.
You got turned into a
It
chicken.
was like a hawk or a vulture. I'm
A
not sure which.
chicken
I
is
can't
not
remember.
not very noble bird. I
I
must
guess
say.
it depends.
Nah,
In some
see,
cultures, chicken is very revered.
my son
Could
told
be.
me a story about that.
What?
It was chicken.
How you know? What? What do you mean your son told you a story?
I've got people who know things.
One time, I knew people who knew things. There was this guy back in the Sword Coast, and he was, and I just ramble on. Drinking disease.
Giovanni's heavily intoxicated, so he's thoroughly enjoying the stories. He's leaning into you, laughing heartily when you get to a funny part, and is just really having a good time. I need everyone to make a perception check, please. Carnos at disadvantage because you are inebriated and telling stories. Adok, you'll need to make this one as well.
I got a natural 20 and an 18.
Oh, it's not bad, 18. All pretty high.
How the
Except
hell
for
did
Emilia.
the drunk guy get a higher score than me? I only got a 10.
What
My
roll
mind
was
is
it again?
open.
Perception, please.
My mind is opened.
I got the same bloody roll as when I was a bloody horse.
So, with the roll I just got, I'm just shaking my head at the
Yeah, you're
tales
probably
of
too.
Carlos.
you're probably just.
Just shaking my head at
But
Carlos.
oh god, he's at
not
it again. You do. Those of you that were 15 or over, and that was Carnos, Adok. I think that was it. Yeah, Carnos and Adok. So you're the only ones that notice. The wolves are getting louder. 100%. Adok, from where you're standing, because you're not in the camp, you're sort of set back in the shadows of the trees a little bit. You notice at the north side of the camp movement in the trees. Definitely not natural. Like wolves are definitely a lot closer, and this concerns you 100%.
And Adult will straight away cast message to Emilia. And he would just say, you remember that time you said that if I was in trouble, to use message, and then, well, there's movement in the trees, and I think there's wolves, and by the way, what the fuck's taking so long? We gotta get out, hurry up.
And you would all notice by now that the day is drawing in, as well, that you've been sitting here for quite some time and been kept talking. Giovanni's kept you here talking and telling stories and talking. I need everyone except for Adok, everyone that's sitting around the campfire, to make an insight check, please.
I do mine at disadvantage, do you?
Yes, please.
6.
6 for Emilia. Emilia's
just wasted
just
another
completely infatuated with the heartbeat and the sound of blood. Carnos 13, 20, Skatus 13. What was yours, Fibble?
22.
22. So I think Fibble's probably the only one that really catches this. As you're sitting there, because you're not drinking and you're sort of observing what's going on, trying to tune out Carnos's incessant ramblings, and to a point, Giovanni's ramblings as well, because he almost seems to be doing the same thing, sort of rambling and talking. You get the impression that he's trying to keep you there for some reason, as long as possible. Just that strange feeling. You're watching him every now and again. He sort of looks over at some of the others, and back to you guys, and back to the sort of almost fake laughter to a degree.
Now, guys, I think it's time to go before it gets too dark.
No, you stay here. We've got plenty of room. You can stay. We can make tent for you. Big bonfire. You'll be safe. It's all good.
Nah, that didn't turn out so good last time. I think we should get back to town.
It's a long way back to town. You want to get there before nightfall anyway. You better stay here.
Guys,
Maybe we should stay.
guys, I can hear adult talking to me. I think we need to go.
You have another friend? Someone who's not here? Where is he? Bring him. Please. Go, hey, Gregory, go find a little friend. There's another one around here somewhere. Go find him.
No, I think. Hang on, maybe Fibble's right. We were meant to be looking for Zadriel. We kind of lost track of time. I do appreciate the mead, but we need to find our friend.
Hey, you're not going to find your friend tonight. If you go back to Valaki, you won't get back before dark, and better stay here, close to fire, big fire. Keep Wolf at bay. You'll be fine.
No,
You see, Ismark. Yeah, Ismark looks directly at you, Carnos. Doesn't say anything. He just looks at you, and you can see he just shakes his head. Not staying. Get the impression that he wants to go to.
Fibble said no, mate. Scaper said no, and Ismark,
Are you sure? You will not stay? Please.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I'd love to, but we do have other things. I shall come back and see you sometime to party up when we've got less important things to do, all right?
And then his expression changes a little. That sort of happy-go-lucky sort of expression on his face changes, and he sort of leans in a little closer and goes, I really think you should stay. Not safe out there.
We've handled it before, right, Mr. Stubb?
Yeah.
There are things in this forest that you do not know yet. I think it's best you stay here.
Yeah.
And he looks up and nods to a couple of people on the other side of the fire. And it's at this point you notice that several of the Vistani here are now armed. As the wolves now, you hear them quite clearly. They are very close.
Yep, time to go.
Right, and I start following Stubb if he's moving or whoever's moving.
So you get up and start moving away?
Yep.
Oh, yep.
Back the way you came?
Yeah.
Yep.
Giovanni stands, and as two or three of these gentlemen start moving forward, they're not like aggressively weapons, but they start moving forward in your direction. You just see Vistani sort of raise a hand and just literally go, stand down kind of thing. Just subtly, not like overly aggressively, just like, no, let him go. And he says, well, if you insist. But do not say I did not warn you.
I appreciate the warning, mate, but we will be back to say hello in another day.
Of course.
And I'm using whoever's closest to me to try and stand.
That would be Skathis, because he's
Probably.
the only one that's about your height.
Yeah.
Ismark is there as well, so Ismark probably flanks on the other side and moves in to aid you, knowing the state that you're probably in at this point.
I've put 4 away pretty quickly, and I was on my 5th, and I feel like Carlos will be putting a little bit extra effort into making it look worse than what it is.
I would say so. I get that impression as well. So with that, you start moving back towards where you left your cart. Adok, you would then see your friends leaving the light of the camp, and it is starting to get, that light is starting to leave the day. It's not nighttime yet, but it definitely is on its way. And it's only going to take you 5 minutes or so to get to where you left the cart. But as you do get to where you left the cart, however, you hear the sound of those wolves again. This time not the howls, but you hear footsteps. Lots and lots of footsteps from all directions in the darkness of the forest. As you get back under the canopy of those trees, it becomes almost as dark as night as you are getting towards the end of the day. You definitely know that there are wolves close. You can hear them panting, occasional growl and snapping of teeth. What are you doing?
And only I'm hearing this, right?
Everybody's hearing it now. As you'll all be back together, heading back towards the cart.
I think we got set up.
Yeah, you may be right. Emilia, you can turn to a horse again, right? We should load you up and we should run back.
I'm wondering if we should get her to be something a bit faster. That can still pull the cart.
I guess it depends what she can change into. What's faster?
Well, that big thinger that she was last time, but this time we've got wheels, which means she'll be able to go faster.
Yeah, the giant elk, will put the cart at a really odd angle, because that giant elk is twice the size of the horse.
Not if we use rope.
True.
Instead.
We'll take a couple of checks to be able to lash it to her, but it is a possibility.
Adam's going to jump on top of the cart and poof his Eldritch Cannon, force cannon, straight on the helm.
So I'm going to give you guys 60 seconds to make a decision because these wolves are getting closer and closer.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
The elk's bloody 20 foot high, right? So could we put the cart onto its back? Like, turn it into a saddle?
You would take
that would take too much time.
Yeah, it would be several strength checks. I mean, I don't think you got enough people to lift the cart to her back.
Yep.
You would have to be under it, transformed, and have it strapped to her already, which would be a mission in itself. So I don't think you got time for that.
Adam's going to sit in his cannon and be like, all right, whatever we're going to do, we're going to do it now because I don't feel like getting eaten.
And it's at this point, Adok, you see the first set of eye shine through the trees.
And he's got
about 7 or 8 pairs of eye shine just are moving pretty quickly through the forest. Like, you can't pinpoint anyone to fire. But if you think that you would fire out of fright,
yeah, I'd just shoot in the trees.
Okay. Roll to hit anyway. I'll see if you can hit anything.
And Carlos will be like, Fibble, lash her up, Amelia. You turn into something? Sure, I'm getting on the cart. And I stumble over to the cart as best I can.
Get on the cart. You're not much good for much else.
I am fine. More fine than I look.
Right. Okay. Emily, turn into the horse. Let's go.
Elks have tails. I don't know if they do or not.
Elks have... no, I don't think they do.
Just turn into a horse and you can go...
Oh yeah, draft horse it is.
Is the war horse, if I remember right.
Yeah. So you turn into the horse. It's still going to take a little time to get her hooked up. Bismarck does give you a hand. Just as you guys get her all hitched up, ready to go, the first lot of wolves can be seen stalking out of the forest. Adok, what did you get on your roll to hit?
I got a 3 plus 7, so it's 10.
10. Yeah, it fires wildly and just strikes a tree, and then you hear a bit of yipping and growling, and that's about it. But as the rest of you start to board this cart, and Emily, you turn. Does your warhorse? I don't think your warhorse has dark vision, does it?
Well, I have dark vision, but I don't know if my warhorse would.
You would, yeah. If your warhorse, if you have, your warhorse should too. So you should be fine.
30 feet.
Yeah, you'll be fine. As it's getting now, you can start to see that darkness shift in the sky. The night is on its way. The wolves start to howl and bay as they start to move on your position. Emilia, you turn the cart heading back the way you came towards the river. You know it's going to be relatively slow going because you have to pick your way through the trees. It's not going to be walking pace, it's going to be a little bit faster. So I will need to get you to make some skill checks as we run. If you want to pick up the pace any further, it's up to you.
I probably will after the river, but for the time being, I'll go as fast as I can.
Okay, so with that, I'm going to get everyone to roll initiative anyway at this point because you are now in the midst of being chased by a pack of wolves. So, Karnos, your initiative, please.
That is 9.
9. Adok, yours.
Got an 8.
8. Skathis.
15.
15. Oh, I haven't redone this. Hang on, I have to redo this. God damn it. It's an old encounter and it's still got Mirabelle.
Wow.
What's the thing? It doesn't auto-update for the campaign.
Probably Zadriel too.
Oh no, I've Zadriel I can count out. It's not a problem. Right, so here we go. So Karnos was 9.
Yep.
Adok was 8. Skathis, yours was 15.
Yep.
Zadriel will put her on 0. Fiddlestib.
18.
18, that's more like it. Emilia as a horse.
It's initiative the same,
Yes,
and it's dark.
not yet.
Not quite.
Not quite.
Is it still daylight hours?
It is. You're still at your
Okay.
-2.
15.
15. This mark is going to roll when I remember. His is a 13. And we're going to roll for the wolves. Alrighty, so it is the wolves' turn first. As Emilia, you start moving back towards the river. You can hear the river from where you are, so you roughly know the direction you're going. Your dark vision starts to kick in as the light starts to fade. The wolves start moving towards you. As the rest of you are sitting on the back of the wagon, you can see to the left and the right and behind you, they seem to just be, at this stage, just keeping pace. They don't seem to be doing much more than staying with you at this point. But they are big. There are some that are much bigger than others. There's even a few that look almost bipedal in nature with burning red eyes. Much bigger than wolves than you've ever seen before. I don't know if anyone wants to roll a history to see if you know what these creatures are. You can do so. Adok, you would know already what they are. You have seen them before. As your memory has fully returned of your time in Barovia, you know exactly what they are, and they are scaring the absolute crap out of you right now.
Yes.
So, history checks. 5 from Adok, which was unnecessary because you already know. Karnos, 14.
25 for
25.
people.
People you would definitely know. Skathis, you've probably heard of them but never seen one. You've heard of these large creatures but you've never seen one. Emilia, you would know what they are. As a horse, probably doesn't really matter. And Ismark definitely knows what they are already. So as they move, you now see maybe 10, 12, 16 of these creatures, all differing sizes, running side and behind the wagon as you move forward. And this is where we're going to take a short break. We'll pick this up just after the break. I just looked at the time, it's like break time. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be right back. We're going to take a short break. Bear with us. We'll be right back. Just need a pee break and a drink break and stuff. And we'll pick up with wolves chasing the party. Burb.
I've got a
Live again.
Depends if they can swim or not.
All right, chat, we are back. Just waiting for Fibble to get back, and we'll get back into it. But welcome, everybody. Cheers for hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate it very, very much. We have had a couple of newbies joining us. We had Reaper dropping some cheers and hosting with 12 viewers. We had Twitch Hub Discord with a cheer as well and dropping a follow. JJ with the sub, dude. 30th sub. Thank you very much. That is our number 30 sub, guys. This month, we've done pretty well with our subs this month. So very much appreciate your guys' support. 100%. But yeah, so our crew at the moment are a little bit surrounded. Once everyone's ready, we'll get back into it. Guys in the chat, you got any questions before we carry on? Obviously, things are heating up a little bit. Pesh, what's up?
Or any answers. Any answers would be good too.
Would be good too. Is there a way to get out of this safely? Yes. And no.
Feed the horse to them.
No.
Couldn't find a pick of a ginger horse.
We've got two small humanoids with us. We can always throw them
Well,
over.
yeah, there are options.
Nah,
Definitely
Skater's-
options.
Skater's probably the best one because his skin's going to be a little bit tougher because he's all scaly.
This Mark's an NPC, right? He's not important.
It wasn't like it was in the card reading at all.
Oh, he's not important. No, not at all.
Yeah.
Adok.
Yes! Zadriel comes through.
Adok gets a friend's. You can probably use the other ones, Yanti, at the moment because technically you're not actually in the show. So
What does the help thy friend do?
help thy friend. That one there is basically give a fellow cast member an advantage on all saving throws for an hour.
Oh my god, that's so handy.
So
Nice.
just mark that down that you, for the probably the remainder of the show you have advantage
Thanks,
on all saving throws. We have Emilia with inspiration. We have Karnos with luck. We have Skatus with luck. I think Yanti's going to help you guys out while she can.
What is luck again?
Get it all. Get it. Luck gives you the reroll. So luck gives you a
That's right.
reroll on a save or a skill check.
But
You
have to
must
take the new one.
take the new roll. And the inspiration gives you a D10.
It looks like Yanti's doing a trashy.
Yep, she's dropping everyone. Karnos, Fibble, Emilia, and the DM. Look at that.
See?
Oh no, DM doesn't need it.
Sending thoughts and prayers, says Tales of Pesh.
This will be the one campaign where Zadriel survives and we all die.
Does the horse turn back into a human when scared? Monkey magic. I remember that. I'm old enough to remember that magic.
They re-released that show too.
Yeah, I know. I was watching something on YouTube with the re-release of it too. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, done in New Zealand.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's a bit.
It's a bit weird and cliche, but so was the original show.
It just sounds really weird with a New Zealand accent.
Yeah.
Like monkey having a New Zealand accent.
It's not bad though.
It reminds me of the old Hercules Xena shows.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
sort of what they were like a bit.
All right, guys. I think everyone. Yanti's got all their channel points out of her system. We will now head back to the encounter. So, with that, Fibblesib, it is now your turn in the initiative order. You are still managing to travel not too quick, but you're traveling. Like I said, the wolves aren't really doing anything at this point. They're just keeping pace, but they are moving to a position where you are pretty much surrounded on most sides. And there are a lot of them. What is Fibble doing at this point?
I'm going to look to the right-hand side
Yes.
of the card. Because they're all running kind of in a pack type deal on the right-hand side.
Pretty much, yeah, surrounding right, left, and rear. So they're moving together in a group. It looks like the smaller of the wolves closest to the cart, moving in a sort of almost like a V pack formation behind you.
Well,
The bigger ones to the outside and the bigger ones a little further back.
I'm gonna judge the best spot to put it,
Yep.
and then I'm gonna throw down a grease. So everyone that goes through it has to roll the deck save.
Is there any? You just need to put it in a particular spot.
Yeah, I just gotta pick an area. So it's a 10 foot square.
Okay, so I'll make a
10 foot square. Yeah.
Say 10-foot square. You're gonna probably get half a dozen going through there as they run through it. So we'll make a joint deck save here. Unfortunately for you, a natural 20. So,
Yeah, that saves.
I'm pretty sure that saves.
Yeah.
So they do. All of them manage to either skirt around it or manage to get through it without any kind of hindrance at all. These wolves are pretty dexterous. So it was worth a shot. Next up, Emilia, it's your turn in the initiative, but as you're just continuing pulling the cart forward, we're going to get you to make a dexterity check for me, please. Just to see how you maintain your current pace and whether you hit a tree or not. 16, that's pretty good. So Emilia, you're picking up the pace just a little bit. You're keeping just above a trot. Enough. You guys on the back are getting tousled left and right whenever she makes a swift movement to miss a tree. He hasn't hit a tree yet. Been a couple of close calls. You guys aren't being too bad on the back. There's nothing being too severe that you're needing to make any kind of checks yourselves. But you're keeping good pace, Emilia, so you're not doing too bad. The wolves are still keeping up. They're not pressing you at this stage.
Daytime or nighttime?
It's getting closer. It is definitely getting closer. Next up is Scathus. You are seeing all this going on as well. You are looking left and right and behind and just seeing fur, teeth, and eyes. Some of these larger beasts picking up the pace and moving sort of now in amongst some of the smaller ones.
Alright, so with that, I steady myself on the back of the wagon. And I use Fist of Unbroken Air at one of the larger ones.
One of the larger ones? Go for it.
Make a strength saving throw, please.
What's the range on Fist of Unbroken Air?
30 feet.
Make a quick roll here. He's just within range. So strength
DC
check.
12.
The natural 19 with a strength of +2, so that's a 21. Makes the
Alright.
save.
1, 2, 3.
So he does not get knocked prone, but he does take damage, yeah?
Yes, with
14? Takes 14 points of what type of damage is it?
Bludgeoning.
You hear the yelp come from it as the energy strikes it in its side. Oh! And it just sort of stumbles a bit and then gets back up, and then you see it turn. This one's not just a larger wolf. This one is bipedal. It is definitely more than just a wolf, and it turns and looks at you and just bares its teeth. The drool and slime just hanging off these razor sharp teeth. These things, even from the distance that you're looking at it, look like they're about 2 or 3 inches long. This thing is massive. And it is not happy with you. Is that all you're going to do?
That's all I can do.
Ismark looks around left and right, and at this point just simply says, Emilia, faster if you please. I do not fancy being a wolf meat today. And he readies his heavy crossbow, draws it back, knocks an arrow. But he's not going to do anything else at this point. Next up is the largest of these creatures. What some of you know as werewolves. Bipedal creatures now running almost 1 on your left side and 2 on the right, now running parallel with the cart. With that strike from Scathus, the one on your side, Scathus, now starts to close the gap between itself and the cart. It's going to make a leap, which it does succeed, and it leaps 15 feet in the air. And you watch it, Skathis, as it sort of comes up and it lands heavily on the cart right in the front. Between Emilia and the rest of you. It turns, looks directly at you, Skathis, and then just growls and just lashes out with its claws, and it's going to bite. So first off, it's going to claw attack, which I believe is going to miss with a 7. Then it runs with its bite attack with a 14. Does a 14 hit?
Miss.
Right. What's your AC now? 15, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you were, with those braces you got, you were lucky. You managed to get your arm up in time and it bites you right on the bracer, not managing to pierce through the armor at all. So you can smell that breath, though. The breath is horrible. It's putrid, the smell of old meat, and its burning red eyes is looking as it sort of steps back and stands up to its full height. Its tower is probably 2 or 3 feet above all of you standing in the front of this cart. On the other side, the other 2 charge up to the side of the cart. They're going to make their attacks simultaneously at the cart's wheel, as they cannot fit on the cart with this other one on there. So there'll be 2 attacks from the first, both natural 17s, so that will be 21s to hit. Cart only has an AC of 18, so unfortunately that will be 2 hits and 2 misses. Now the cart is going to take a little bit of damage here. Write this down. So as you hear the splintering of wood as these creatures growl and almost call out in an almost human voice as well. It's kind of uncanny. They sound almost human and feral at the same time. But the cart has sustained some damage as you see splinters of wood sort of fly off to one side.
As a free action, I turn to Carnos. Do you think we can get our money back on it?
In the midst of all the growling and howling and the spittle and what's going on, and probably Adok squealing like a little girl right now as this large werewolf has just landed on the cart. Carnos, it is your turn.
Right. I sure hope so. To Skathis.
So there's one on the cart.
There is one in on the cart up the front. The cart's not very big, so there's enough room for all of you to be standing on it. So you could all definitely reach it, but you're going to be reaching over and across each other. So it's going to be a bit of a mission. I would say your position, Carnos, you'd probably be okay to strike without disadvantage. Those in the back wishing to strike with melee attacks are going to be striking at disadvantage. They're going to be reaching over each other.
So me and Skathis are pretty much directly at it.
Yeah.
That's what I'd assume that. I'd hope.
Yeah.
If not, I was going to try and move. But nonetheless, I'm not going to get out my shield. I've just got out my axe. He's on the cart. He has nowhere to go.
He has nowhere to go.
I am going to. Well, at this point, I think he's got nowhere to go. I am going to. Did he bite Skathis or did he hit him with his claws?
He lashed out with claw and bite, but he missed with both.
Okay. I'm going to try and take off one of his arms with my axe first swing, and I'm using it two-handed, so...
Go for it.
Jesus. I'm going to use my luck on that one since I have it. 20 to hit.
That hits.
And I'll do the second hit. Same thing, I'm going to try for the same arm. 15 to hit.
They both hit.
Okay, so the first damage is 9 and the second is 10. So
19,
16 in total.
16 in total?
Yeah, 9 and 16.
9 and 10.
No, sorry, 10 plus 6. 16.
10 plus 6. 16. Do 16 points of damage as you hack away at the creature's arm.
This is one of the big suckers.
This is one of the big boys. He takes the damage. It opens up a large wound, 100%, on just above his bicep, but it doesn't seem to bother him all that much.
I'm going to action surge and do that again since it's one of the big ones.
Yep.
It's 2 more attacks. And I swing for that opposite arm. 15 to hit.
It hits.
And natural 1 on the second one.
That'll be a miss.
That'll be a miss. So just the 1 hit.
1 hit.
I get to reroll that because I'm using my weapon two-handed.
But
so that is 12.
Nice.
12 damage.
And with that one opens up another large wound, and it's looking bloodied at this point as you open up 2 massive wounds with your attacks. Again, it doesn't seem overly concerned by it, but it is definitely hurt.
Because it hit, I can use a superiority die to trip attack it, so I'm going to do that as well. Adding a superiority die to the damage.
How much space of movement do you need to trip something, though? It's pretty tight, and you're moving, the whole thing's being jostled about. Pretty tight space between you, Skathis, and this creature, so I'm sort of looking at what...
Like a front kick?
Yeah, we go with that.
Trip it off the edge, yeah, that's cool.
Trying to, probably more of a shove would probably be more appropriate for the situation.
Yeah, shove, that would probably be more, yep, okay. Yep. It has to make a strength check, but it takes an extra...
which it passes with a 19.
It takes an extra 1 damage from the dice, but that's it.
No worries.
But,
it does maintain its footing, however.
It does indeed, yep. So that's it for Karnos, and I would just yell out, all right, everyone, let's get this thing off here. Done.
With that, Adok the Grey, it is your turn. You have seen this thing land on the cart. It's lashed out at Skathis. You've seen Karnos just go at it. Series of blows. It looks like it's hurt. It's your turn.
Just swings his force cannon around, screaming, and just fires at it like point blank.
So how does Adok scream? Just exactly?
He just like smashes it with the force cannon.
Right. So roll to hit.
13.
That will hit.
Great. It takes... Shit. Where is it? 2d8 damage, and it gets pushed back 5 feet as well.
Roger that.
10.
10 points. The damage goes back 5 feet, you say?
Yep.
It's going to need to make a quick dex check here, which it saves. As it is pushed back with the force of this thing, it trips and almost falls off the front of the cart, but it manages to catch itself on the seat and then pushes itself back forward again, still maintaining its position. Yeah, someone clipped that scream, by the way. That was great. Is that your turn, Adok?
No, that was his bonus action. Then Adok is going to cast Firebolt at him with his little blowgun.
Go for it.
14 to hit.
That hits.
That hits.
Yeah, they don't have huge amounts of AC, but...
Okay, and he takes 11 points of damage.
That is all you need, as this creature struck in the chest with a firebolt from Adok. He brings his flute up, plays a little tune, and the little firebolt shoots from the... There it is. Shoots forward, strikes the wolf in the chest, and just catches his fur on fire and leaves a rather nasty indentation in his chest. You sort of watch him as almost instantaneously, as the life slips away from this creature, his form starts to shift and change and starts to shrink before he falls off and ends up under the wheel of the wagon as it sort of jostles and jumps as it's left in the dust and the darkness behind you. Is that your turn, Adok?
Adok then turns and goes, nobody get bit by that thing, otherwise you're going to end up like one of them.
With that, it is now back to the top of the initiative order with the pack. The pack now seems to be closing in as much as they can. The first 2 or 3 are going to attack Emilia's legs, trying to stop the horse from carrying its prey away. So Emilia, you're going to take a bunch of attacks here. It is not quite dark yet. We're getting there. It's almost dark. You can feel the sun setting. So the first lot of attacks, when I bring up the wolf stats here, what is your AC? I believe both of those miss. 14 and a 13.
11.
What's your horse's AC? Actually, I think the horse's AC is actually quite low.
Horse is 11.
11. So that's 2 hits, another 2 attacks as they both charge in. That'd be 4 hits. So your horse is going to take from bites 28 points of piercing damage as 4 of these wolves just jump at you and attack your legs.
Well, I'm going to lose horse form.
So with that, I need everybody on the carriage as Emilia, your form drops. The drawbars of the carriage dip and dig into the ground, catapulting all of you from the carriage as the cart is flipped forward with the momentum. So everybody needs to make a dexterity saving throw, please, including Ismark.
Carlos is going to Misty Step.
Nice. Roll your percentage die.
And Adok, as we're all being catapulted, is going to cast Featherfall.
On himself?
I can choose up to 5 falling creatures within range.
Nice. So the saves are probably null and void then because you're not falling far enough to do any major damage. So I don't think any of you are going to take damage.
And I Misty stepped into the next great big motherfucker. And I would try to Misty Step like beside him, knowing he's moving, so I wasn't going to get trampled. That's the only thing.
No worries. So what we'll do is can you give me the specifics of Featherfall just quickly, please?
Absolutely can. Featherfall. Choose up to 5 falling creatures within range. A falling creature's rate of descent slows to 60 feet per round until the spell ends. If the creature lands before the spell ends, it takes no falling damage and can land on its feet.
Okay,
and the spell ends for the creature.
You are all able to land on your feet and you take no damage. Emilia, any damage that the horse that was over and above what the horse's max HP is transferred onto your own. So bear that in mind.
What did you say, 28?
28 total, yeah.
Okay.
Adok, where you go?
Sorry, no, I was just going to say, you all would have seen Adok just like playing his flute vigorously as he's like casting Featherfall. That's how he casted it through.
The cart, however, did not fare quite so well. And is being slammed against a tree as it flips forward over top of Emilia, not hurting you in the process. You were lucky on that roll too. It goes end over end and slams into a tree. Bits of wood and metal scattered, and it lies broken in several pieces against the tree.
Well, not to put myself in damage here, but wouldn't it be tied up in the ropes of the saddle?
It's not really a saddle. It's more like a harness. And as it hit the ground, you would have gone to ground with it. So it may have jostled you around, but I think you took enough damage from the walls in itself. So I'm
and
allowed.
She would have reduced substantially in
Your size, yeah. So you probably would have fallen through it. You may have been tangled up a little bit in the roping and the rigging, but I don't think it would have caused too much damage.
True.
So we'll let you off that one. So with that, however, the rest of you are now standing, and Karnos, you misty step towards in the direction of one of the larger werewolves, and are now standing within 10 feet of him as he stops, as he sort of sees you just appear and comes to a skidding halt and starts slowly circling around your position, as does the second that was with him. The other wolves and the dire wolves that were the smaller and the larger wolves that were around now start to circle your group, keeping a little bit of distance, but they're circling slowly, growling, you can see them sort of snapping at each other, the drawl from their fangs quite clear in the diminishing light of the Barovian day. You have about 40 minutes till sunset. Yes.
Are we all roughly sort of close to each other? How do we fare?
You're probably furthest away because you missed a step, so you're probably a good 20 feet away from the group. The rest of you would have landed in a rough approximation with the feather fall within sort of 10 feet of each other.
Sweet.
So, with that, that was the... We'll leave that at the wolf pack turn. And I'll give the other half will go as they circle around, coming around your left side, bringing up the rear. We're going to get a series of attacks here on Ismark, Adok, and Fiddlestep. We're all going to take 2 attacks each. 15 and 14 for Ismark. I think Ismark is good. He's got 17 AC. He manages to fend off 2 that come at him. Adok, 19 and 14 on you.
I can only use 1 reaction, right? So I can't use shield again, can I?
No, you cannot.
Yeah, that's right.
Still part of this turn, so yeah.
Yeah.
So do both of those hit?
So first one was 19, second
19
one
and
was
14.
14 one misses.
Okay, so 19. So you'll take 7 points of piercing damage. Fiddlestep, 23 and a 16.
Adok, how long does your shield last, though? Shield normally lasts for the full
He didn't
round.
use his shield. He used Featherfall as a reaction.
Oh, sorry, his reaction. My bad. Yep.
Yeah, the only one hit.
Only 1 hit, so you'll take 7 points of piercing damage as well. As these wolves start to rally around and close in on your position, it is now... We'll get through all of this crap. Fiddlestep, your turn.
The 2 that are near Karnos.
Yes.
How far away are they?
They'll be 20 feet from you.
Right behind them, I'm going to cast Flaming Sphere.
Yep.
So they need to make dex checks.
How big is this flaming sphere?
It's a 5-foot square.
All right.
A 5-foot sphere. And if they're within, I'll place it so they're within 5 feet of it.
We'll only probably get 1 if it's a 5-foot sphere. Don't think it'll get both of them. We'll definitely get 1. Dex check of a 14. I think that's a failure.
Yeah, that's a failure. So he took 10 points fire damage.
Nice. And that remains in place, yes?
Yep, I'm concentrating on that spell now.
So bear that in mind when you take damage. Is that your turn?
Yeah, that would be my turn.
Himalaya, you are now Robold and Arsold. I don't think the Featherfall really would have affected you because you were already on the ground, but you would definitely be prone, so you would have to stand back up, and it is now your turn.
So Emily will stand back up and she'll look around and look to see where the largest concentration of wolves is.
Around all of you. You are surrounded by a large pack of angry wolves, both small, medium, and large, a full mixture of sizes, and there is a lot of them.
Is there a group that is within 10 feet of each other?
They'll all be within sort of 10 feet of each other. They're packing together, so they're definitely close knit.
Okay.
What are you thinking?
Emilia will reach to her belt. She'll pull out a water flask, and she'll flick a few drops of water from her flask, and she'll speak in Elvish. Neen ohith aglia. Last obeth dier reno nin bruin danin dagrim. And she'll cast, she'll hold out her hand straight in front of her and cast a tidal wave, which is
nice.
10 foot wide, 10 foot tall wall of water.
Yep.
Will hit everything within 30 feet directly in front of her.
No worries. And what is the save for that?
And for my reaction, I'll be going, where the fuck that come
from? What is the save or damage for that?
Dex 15.
Dex 15. We have to make a few saves here. Fail, save. Save. You're going to hit probably about 9 or 10 of them. Fail, save. So you've managed 4 have missed. The rest have saved.
On a failed save, the creature will take 4d8 bludgeoning.
Nice. So roll your 4. Just roll the 4d8 once, and I'll give the damage to all that were hit. Makes it a whole lot easier. 23. You hear the sound of yelping animals, and then silence as this wave of water just surges forward. Some of them manage to roll out of the way or manage to get through it without taking much damage. But as you look towards where your tidal wave is just surged forward, you now see the bodies of 4 wolves in its path.
So, on a failed save, they'll get 4d8 and be knocked prone. On a successful save, they'll take half as much and not knocked prone.
So 23, actually, there'd be a whole bunch of dead wolves in the line of that tidal wave. Probably about 7 or 8.
Excellent.
So there is definitely a large gap of wolves being taken care of there. Is that your turn?
And then the water will spread out across the ground.
Yep.
And vanish.
Pretty much.
That's my turn.
That's your turn. Skaters, you're up.
I see this.
You would definitely have all seen it.
Well, we don't need Zadriel anymore. Damn!
Wow.
She's gonna kill me for that one, but anyway.
Really? You're going there?
Just for that, Skaters gets his ankle bit.
Anyway, so I'll join Karnos with the 2 that's...
So you surge forward, heading to aid Karnos with the larger of the 2, standing shoulder to shoulder with your companion. Make your attacks.
Wrong one. I want that one. There. No, back there. Okay. Unarmed strike. 19 to hit.
It's
6 damage.
6 damage.
12 to hit.
That will just hit.
4 damage. Spend a key point.
Would you dodge it?
And do it all over again.
Just flurry of blows?
Yep. 19.
Just let me know what you're spending your key point on. Just so I'm aware.
Yep. 8 damage.
8 damage. Karnos, you watch as Skathis just goes ham on this creature. Left cross, right straight, sweeping kick, and then a front kick to finish off.
Last one, 23 to hit.
Yep.
And 4 damage.
And this, you can hear the thudding against the body of this creature, even though it's so much bigger than you guys. You swear that you heard cracking of bone as this creature just took a huge amount of blows. That is your turn. Next up is Ismark. Ismark is now on one knee, stands back up, and sort of surveys the situation, seeing you guys with the bigger of the group. Crossbow's already locked and drawn, raises it and fires at the one that's standing directly in front of you, Karnos. And he will fire with a 24 to hit, which definitely hits and does 6 points of piercing damage. He too will action surge, but he will drop his crossbow and charge forward into melee and into the opposite side of that creature, giving him a flanking position, giving him advantage on the attack. So he will now get... actually, no, he won't action surge. He gets another attack anyway. Which is a 15 to hit, which does hit. Two-handed with 11 points of piercing damage. Now he'll action surge and do it all over again, as he can.
Nice.
So another 2 attacks. The first misses with a 10. Tries again. 13 hits. Once again two-handed, slashing forward with another 14 points of damage. This creature is now looking hurt. Slumps over slightly, heavy, breathing with a large gash just below his ribcage being opened up with Ismark's flurry of attacks. And Ismark sort of stands up, heavy breathing, looking directly at you, holding sword two-handed, and just gives you a slight nod. As it is now your turn. Actually, no, it's the werewolf's turn. I lie. You're
That's
up
fine.
after the werewolves. So, the first is going to turn and attack Ismark, as it has just taken huge amounts of damage from him. So it's going to roll 2 attacks. Ismark AC 17. 1 will hit, 1 will miss. Ismark takes a little bit of damage here. 7 points of damage.
I'm going to intercept that with a reaction.
Sure.
If a creature makes an attack on a target other than me within 5 feet of me, I can use my reaction to reduce the damage it takes by 1d10 plus 3.
Go for it.
So I'm going to basically just sort of stick my axe in the way and try and knock his claw away or whatever he's using.
What is the damage reduction?
7.
Exactly what he took. So that's
4, 5,
actually,
6, 7. Yep.
so he does not take the damage as you reach out, put your weapon in the way. Definitely gives you a nod in recognition of that. There's the other werewolf's turn now. Is going to attack you, Skathis. 1 bite, 1. Actually, these are supposed to be at advantage too. I forgot. So the first one is a 19 to hit. The second is a 23 to hit. So
Sorry, Skathis, I can't do that again.
so you will take. Where are we? You will take 13 points of piercing damage, Skathis. And you need to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please. That would be a failure.
Yep.
I will let you know what that will mean a little bit later.
Yeah.
But your wound is open and bleeding heavily. You've taken a large claw mark across the top of the neck, right down through into the clavicle area. Skathis, Karnos, sorry, it's now your turn.
Right.
Haddock, you're on board after that.
So Karnos sort of blocks that attack to Ismark, and then I look at the beast. It's looking pretty bad, isn't it?
This one's looking pretty rough, yeah.
I hold the double-bladed axe high above my head, and I scream out, "To Victor goes the spoils!" And I drop it, like trying to split him in half right through his head.
Go for it.
With me battle axe, and still two-handed. First attack, 18 to hit.
It hits.
I'll make that damage
Roll your
first.
damage.
And that's 14.
Not quite enough to take it down, but it is. You've opened up a huge wound. You've cracked the clavicle bone, and it is split right next to the neck and shoulder.
Yeah, I'll use that momentum to sort of hook around and come straight back up the same way, so
Yep.
up instead of down.
No
up into
worries.
the jaw with a, oh no!
11.
An
That
11.
will miss. It is not looking good though. It's dropped to one knee and it's breathing
Oh, do I have
really
advantage? Is he
heavily.
flanking?
You do, in fact.
Ismark said he was flanking.
Ismark
yes,
was
he does.
flanking, so you do get advantage.
So that's
So that'll be a
23
hit.
to hit.
Your weapon damage will be alone will be enough to finish it off.
Okay, sweet.
So describe
So upstrike.
describe its demise as you
Yeah.
render this werewolf dead.
So I flow down, knock that clavicle jaw like you said, and then like I came with that upstrike and it looked like I was about to miss, but I ducked low, sort of shunted forward and caught him up in the neck, right in the throat as I pushed it up through his head.
And with a huge spray of blood and gore, again, as this creature falls backward, almost starting to reshape itself into human form, almost immediately upon death, see the limbs and that start to move erratic form and the fur start to recede.
Is there another werewolf within 5 feet?
There is.
I will bonus action sweep attack and just try it well. If it hits, it automatically hits the next werewolf, so it will
Yep.
take D8 damage.
Yeah, damage. Roll your damage.
4, so that other werewolf takes 4 damage as after I follow through. I'll say sweep kick,
Yep.
try just
No
a bit
problem.
of damage.
It takes the damage. That is your turn.
That is it for me.
Haddock the Grey, it is your turn.
So it's
You are
just the
now
one werewolf left.
surrounded by a pack of a large pack of wolves. Looks like to be only one werewolf left standing within view. Sun is slowly setting. It is getting darker and darker as you guys fight this battle.
Okay, how my own allies within 15 feet of me?
Yes. Sybil
Oh,
and Emilia probably.
okay. Alright. Adok gets 2 shells out of his component pouch and rubs them together, slams them and casts Thunderwave at a first level though.
Okay.
So everyone needs to make a constitution saving throw.
Just in the direction of the nearest set of wolves.
Yep.
So yeah, I'd say you'd move to a position where you're not going to get your friends. You're smart enough to do that. So what was the save? Sorry.
Con of 14.
Con. Okay, so we got. Gonna roll for. You're probably looking at half a dozen here. So 1 fail, 1 success. 3 successes. 3 fails. So you got 3 that fail, 3 that succeed.
So the 3 that fail take 15 points of thunder damage and are pushed 10 feet away.
And as they're pushed 10 feet away, you hear the cracking of bones as they are no longer for this world.
And the ones that saved take half as much damage and are not pushed 10 feet away.
So these creatures take damage, but they're not. You hear them yelp in pain. They've definitely taken some damage, but they're still up, and slowly start to move forward once again.
And then for Adok to finish his go, he's gonna hold out his hand towards the direction of his cannon, which has probably flown somewhere.
Yes, it definitely would have. It would have been launched with the cart, and in fact, I'm just going to make a quick roll here. It survived the crash. It's not destroyed, so it is around. You're not sure where. It definitely is around somewhere.
Fantastic. He's just gonna forcibly will it to start growing legs out and walking out towards.
What's its
in
movement
range.
speed?
It has 15 feet.
Okay, so it's going to take a couple of rounds to get there, so there's a fair way away.
Yeah, that's cool.
But it is intact and is now sprouting legs and moving towards your position.
And that is it. Let's just go.
So back to the wolves' turn. I need everyone to make a perception check for me, just quickly. I'd say Karnos, Ismark, and Skathis would be at disadvantage considering your current position and what you're involved in. Well, this Marks was terrible. Yep, 6.
17 for Karnos.
17.
Disadvantage.
Nice roll.
So
Same.
with disadvantage, I got a 14,
Okay,
but I did get a nat 20 on the second roll.
doesn't matter.
It's a nat 20.
It
Come
doesn't
on.
matter. The nat 20 doesn't mean you automatically succeed.
Yeah, I
So anyone over a 15, because of the current situation, would see this. So basically, Karnos is the only one. What was yours, Fibble?
Same as Karnos.
Same as Karnos, 17. So you would see it as well. So Karnos and Philsib, you see in the distance, maybe 80 feet out, as the sun's starting to set and Karnos, especially in this failing light, you see the shadow of more bodies coming out of the trees. Another maybe 10 or 12 of these large werewolf-like creatures. Another large pack of wolves coming from the right. Bibble, you see another large pack coming from the north, which would be to your left. There is a lot of wolves here. A lot more than you guys can handle.
Yeah, I'll just
You
shout,
know that.
"Run!"
There is a lot more than you can handle. 100%. So with that, the next pack roll into combat and roll straight into you, Fibble, and Adok, and Emilia. maybe a dozen or so wolves just roll in and at you guys. Fibble, your first round of attacks. 22. That one will miss. That's 3 hits. There'll be 4 hits on you, so there'll be 28 points of piercing damage. Emilia. 22, 19. Oh crap. Dirty 20, 22. And 2 misses, so 4. So that's 28 points of piercing damage to you also. Adok, you were also swamped. 16 and 19. 18 and 17. Natural 20 on the last. So you're going to take 28 plus 14, so 42 points of piercing damage.
Adok's going to use shield.
So that will bring your AC up by 5.
To 20, yeah.
20. So you will only take the 1, which is the critical. So that will be 14 points of piercing damage.
Still hurts. Yeah.
Still hurts, but not as much. So with that, that is you guys. The pack towards the front are going to roll in to Ismark, Skathis, and Kaunos and surround you guys on all sides. Kaunos, you will take a series of attacks. 1 hit with a 22. 17, does that hit?
Yep, it does. I'm not holding my shield.
Okay, so 17. 15. 2 15s? Does 15 hit?
They don't hit.
They don't hit, so 1 more round there. A natural 20 and a 17. So you're going to take 42 points of piercing damage.
Cool.
Skathis, as you are swamped, as the wolves come up from behind you, 1 will miss, a 19 will hit. A natural 20 and a 7, so that's so far 21 points. Another natural 20 and a 3, so that's 35 points. Last round, that'll be 42 points of piercing damage for you also. Ismark. 2 will miss. 2 will hit. Another 2 will hit. The last one, both will miss, so Ismark will take 28 points of piercing damage. Ismark also calls out.
Okay, I take it back now.
Ismark also calls out, "We will not survive. We must run." And with that, it is now. Let me get through all of these damn wolves in my encounter. I should have just made them one big group. Fibbleslip, it is your turn.
What's around the flaming sphere?
They're all scattered a little bit. The one werewolf that was in it is now dead. So it's still close to that group there. There's still, I think, one werewolf standing. Let me double check here. I mean, with the new ones that are joining the fray, there's a whole lot more standing, but in that particular area, there's no more werewolves. There's still smaller wolves. And there's large and smaller wolves, but they're all sort of circling and trying to stay away from the fire as much as possible. What's the movement on it?
Oh, I can move up to 30 feet.
You'd be able to move it with 30 feet of movement. You'd be able to move it into probably a group of the smaller wolves without too many hassles.
I'm not going to do that. No, I'm going to cast grease right on top of it.
Nice. Underneath it or on top of it?
Just
at it,
above it, so it drops down over it and instantly bursts.
That whole area. What size is the grease?
It's a 10-foot square.
10-foot square. So there's now in flames. So you've got a 10-foot square of burning ground, probably 5 or 10 feet from you, Kaunos.
So that's pretty much it.
That's it. Next up is Skathis, I believe. Hang on a moment. No, Emilia.
Yeah, I don't fucking do what I want
You are currently you're not fully surrounded. You do have an escape route towards the river. Seems to be relatively clear. You probably will have to try and get through a few wolves, but it does present an option if you are to take it.
Alrighty. Shit. I want to.
Hard when you're under pressure, dude.
Yes, it is. I'm going to wild shape.
Yep.
Because I can.
You had a short rest, so you do have the ability to do it again, yes?
Yes. Yes, I do.
What are you going to wild shape into?
I'm going to wild shape. I'm going to yell out, everyone grab onto me. I'm going to wild shape into the giant elk. And I'm going to try and basically eat everyone in my party and then run across the river. Like, basically pick them up in my mouth.
You're not that big.
Not that big? Damn it.
A giant elk is only a large. You're not a gargantuan, and yeah, you're definitely not that big. Not with 3 humanoids. The 2 smaller you could probably pick up like that. But with 3 medium-sized humanoids, definitely not big enough to do that. Not an elk. Not strong enough.
Damn. Oh.
But you can still do the large elk, and you've called out to them for them to attach themselves to you, so there'll be a skill check involved. But it is an idea.
So what I'll go into an elk, and I'm gonna try and pick up the 2 little ones in my mouth, and then I'm going to jump towards the river, and then turn around facing the group so that they can still shoot out of my mouth.
Interesting. It's not you're not gonna be able to jump towards the river. It's a fair distance still to go to the river. But you can definitely run in that direction. Yeah.
Effectively providing elevated cover for the rest of the group.
Interesting.
Would that work?
Make a strength check first. See if you're able to pick both of them up. And do you guys allow Emily to pick you up? That's the key here. The little smaller folk, Haddock and Philsip, allow Emily to pick you up in her mouth.
Shield get in the way of that?
If you resisted, yes. Okay. Oh, she's just trying to pick you up by the scruff of the neck, I'm assuming. Like, she's not trying to hurt you. She's trying to literally get you up off the ground and away from wolves.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't resist. I'm just wondering if shield would get in the way.
No.
Which
shield's
one's
more for attacks, so.
Which one's the one that adds a d10?
Inspiration.
Oh, good, because I've got shitloads of them.
So you got a 10 with your strength check. Well, she would have been an 8 because it's still daytime, technically.
So 8 plus 8, 16 plus
that's
4.
That's right, strength. Yeah, so that's pretty good. So 22. So it's not bad. So you're able to... Fibble, are you resisting? You allow Emilia to pick you up in this fashion. You did hear a call out.
Yeah.
So you guys are raised probably 15 feet, almost 15, 20 feet in the air with this giant elk as she reaches down and grabs you both between her teeth and steps back. Your position is still looking back at what's going on, but she's moving her way back towards the river. Kaunos, Ascathus, and Ismark would definitely have heard this going on, probably turned to see Emilia change. It is now... Is that your turn, Emilia? You're going to move your full movement, which is 60 feet?
I'm going to move so that the 2 are still in range of the group. So I don't know what their range is, so I don't know, probably 30 or whatever it is.
So 30 feet. So I was going to make a quick check. You managed to get through the few walls that are there. They're sort of a little bit surprised at seeing this small person now into a large giant animal, and are sort of reeling at the size. So, with that, Skathis, it is now your turn. You've just taken a huge amount of damage. You are surrounded by wolves. What are you doing?
Are they all within 5 feet of me?
You've got maybe 6 or 8 of them all around you.
All right. In that case, go back to that, and we'll do Fist of 4 Thunders, spending 2 key points.
Roger that. How many key points you got left, dude?
3.
Nice.
That's that one.
What's the save on it, man?
Con 12.
Con plus 2. 2 fails. 2 successes. 2 fails. So 4 fails, 2 successes. 4 successes, 2 fails.
Okay.
What happens on the failure?
On the failure, they take 2d8 damage and is pushed 10 feet away from me.
Okay, so do that.
5 damage.
Yep.
And on successful save,
Not enough to kill either of them, but it has definitely knocked them back away from you. You still got 4 at your feet.
And the rest that save take half damage.
The 2 damage. So you definitely hurt them, and they reeled back a little bit, but they're coming back at you.
Boom is heard 300 feet away.
Massive thunderclap is heard, very loud in your close proximity. I think everything in the next within the 300 feet took notice, 100%. So if there is any aid close by, they definitely would have heard that.
And with that, I'll use another key point. What does keep doing that? I said.
That was your action, yep?
Yep. And for the bonus action, I will do where'd it go? Step of the wind, disengage.
No problem. Full movement, 30 feet. Actually, that gives you 60 feet, doesn't it? Does it double your movement speed?
Well, my walking speed's 45.
Does it double your movement speed? Let's double check.
Double your hang on. Disengage action bonus. Disengage or dash action as a bonus action.
So just disengaging, so to be your full 45 feet.
Jump distance is doubled for the turn.
Yeah, so your jump distance is doubled. So you move your full 45 feet away from these creatures. In which direction?
Towards the other guys.
Towards the elk?
Yeah.
That puts you in the clear. You do not get attacked as you are using your monk skills to remove yourself from combat effectively, moving swiftly backwards as quickly as you can. You see the Emilia is transformed, Fibble and Adok dangling from her mouth as you move back towards the elk yourself. Next up is Ismark. Ismark is looking a little worse for wear, so he is going to use, as a bonus action, he's going to give himself second wind because he's not looking good. So he is going to heal for 16 points. So he bolsters himself, heals, and then sort of looks around to see what's what, and just says to Karnos, "We must run." And he just bolts towards Emilia. He's going to take a few opportunity attacks here. 2 misses. 2 misses. Holy crap! One
He didn't
hits.
attack though, did he, Evil?
No.
So he could use his action to disengage.
I think he could. I think
He
you're
would just
right.
lose half his distance of running, that's all.
He can. So he will. He will do that. He won't take those attacks with opportunity. He will move 15 feet away from these creatures, heading towards the elk, which puts him in the clear. Next up, thank you for that. I forgot about that.
That's right, because that was my plan, so.
With that, a new set of werewolves come crashing out of the forest, basically from behind you, the way you were traveling. They are a distance off, but they are moving quickly and they are closing on your position. That is them. Karnos, it is your turn.
Yeah, so I had the same plan. Take a deep breath and second wind. Using my D10, I get 6 plus 8.
Nice.
14 healing damage, as they say in the other campaign. And I will then pull out my shield.
Yep.
As I disengage.
No worries. You disengage 15 feet.
15 feet.
Away from these creatures, also putting space between you and them. And anything else you wish to do on your turn?
Bonus action. No, I am pretty good. I don't think I can do anything else. Nope, just got a reaction, that's all.
So that is, as you all turn and start to run, heading towards the river. Not sure that it'll even help, but we're going to change up the encounter a little bit here now. It's no longer going to be it's going to be turn-based, but it's not going to be attack for attack. It's going to be a chase encounter. So as you all turn and run towards Emilia, heading towards the river, I need all of you to make a dexterity save for me, firstly, including Ismark. This will be a group check, so doesn't matter if you roll low. It'll be based on everybody's roll as an average, except for the two in the mouth. You guys don't need to make it. You guys are not actually traveling. You're just being held by Emilia. So Emilia, Ismark, Karnos, and Skathis. So Emilia's was low, very low.
What's
Karnos
the
was
re-roll
high.
thing?
Re-roll is luck.
Luck. Oh yeah, I'm gonna drop a luck. Then.
Ismark was terrible as well.
22 for Karnos.
So Karnos is definitely picking up the slack here so far.
25.
25 for Skathis. So there's a couple of good rolls. Ismark.
Luck is
15. That's better. With that, you got three over 12. The rest are 2 under. So we'll call that a success. As you turn and bolt together, Emilia, you watch as Karnos, Skathis, and Ismark run towards you and then past you. You turn and do the same, following suit with your friends. You are now being chased by a large pack of wolves as you bolt towards the river. The last of the sun's rays, as much as you can see the sun in this place, is now gone. It is now dark. Those of you that do not have dark vision will not be able to see very well in front of you. So this is going to make things a little bit more difficult. Those of you who do have dark vision will be fine. You will be able to see in shades of grey. But you are running at speed through forest. So, your next skill check, please. Another dexterity saving throw from Karnos, Emilia, Ismark, and Skathis.
If it is dark here, then Karnos cannot see very well at all.
Ismark, 10.
I'll be having my hand on Karnos.
So you just link it under his arm, sort of helping him along. Ismark can't see in the dark either, but he knows his way relatively well through the forest-ish, like he's got a fair idea. He seems to be okay. Some higher rolls there, so you're definitely starting to gain some ground on the wolves. The wolves don't seem to be... They're chasing, but they're not chasing at huge amounts of pace this time. It seems it's a little odd, but you know they're still there and they're still coming. As you crash through the trees, smaller branches whipping you in the face and arms as you go through, scratching up your body, definitely taking a little bit of damage as you go through the trees. You can hear the river now. It's close. You break through the tree line into the small clearing where you had crossed. You now have to cross the river. Emilia, you probably pretty much just stepped about right over this crossing. It's only 15 feet wide. Your stride and the speed that you're definitely running faster than the rest of the group. You pulled out in front and you make it across and into the road. I need Ismark, Karnos, and Skathis to make a final dexterity save as you cross the river and up onto the road. 14, 15, 15. Nice rolls. You manage to cross the river without tripping, without falling. You make it to the road. You turn back briefly to see if you're being pursued still. And as you do, you turn back and the wolves are there, but they've slowed to a walk and walk up to the river's edge and pace backwards and forwards at the river's edge, growling, snapping at each other. Then the first of the werewolves break the tree line and stop as well and stand and look, growling, hissing, almost like they're hissing or growling at you. For those of you that have dark vision, you would probably be able to see this more clearly than those that without. But another figure breaks the tree line behind the last lot of wolves. Tall, slender, humanoid. Long dark hair, flowing dark red cape, dark armor, long sword at his side. He steps forward, grinning, and then simply says, "Well done, my children. I think they may have learned a thing or two this evening." And as he steps forward into the somewhat moonlight that is shining through these thick clouds in Barovia, you see Strahd von Zarevich standing, grinning most evilly in your general direction.
Emilia's not going to be looking at Strahd. She's going to be looking at the moonlight that's on him.
You can't really see the moon. You can see that it's coming through the clouds. Like, you can't literally see the moon. It's just, you can see it's there. It's provided a little bit of light for those that can't see in the dark.
Okay.
So you can't actually see the moon.
that and as well, the forest behind them would be
pretty dark.
Catching a light pretty well by now.
Yeah. There is definitely
the flaming sphere towards us.
I'll make a roll for that because Barovia is consistently wet and drizzly, so they wouldn't be easy for it to catch. There's definitely a fire there, but it's not raging. It's definitely caught some of the trees. They're more smouldering than a raging fire. Unfortunately, Barovia is rather damp and dingy and wet, pretty much 90% of the time. But you have managed to escape with your lives, it seems. Or it seems maybe a game has been played. And Strahd is just standing there looking at you guys, not saying much else. Do you do anything?
Adok is
dangling from an elk's mouth.
So, yeah, Adok is going to point with one free hand, 2 fingers towards Strahd, and he's going to cast message. And he's just going to say in his head, he's like, "Please, let us go. I'm sorry."
Let you go? Why, the fun has just started. That's all you get back.
And then Adok's just going to, with Emily, be like, "Oh, we need to go, like, now, quick, please."
How far away are they from us across the river?
About 80 feet, 80 to 100 feet.
Okay, Carnos pulls a silver coin out of his pouch, loads it into his light crossbow, and tries to ping it across at one of the wolves.
Roll to hit at disadvantage, because I don't know that light crossbow is going to fire a coin all that well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And not only that, he'll only be seen as silhouettes.
17 was the lowest I got.
That's not too bad. Toss a coin at your vampire, why don't you?
I was firing at one of the wolves.
One of the wolves?
Yeah.
It makes it. I mean, what's the range on your crossbow?
So you said
max
80
range.
feet. So maximum 320.
20. So minimum range is 80.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So it probably would hit it and would ting off the snout of a wolf. And you'd see it sort of recoil and snuffle and just growl. Sort of get down its haunches and growl in your direction.
Silver doesn't have any effect, eh?
Not just on a regular wolf.
Interesting. Oh, it's a regular wolf, right?
Yep.
That makes more sense.
You didn't specify werewolf, and the werewolf's probably more than
true.
that far away. So,
no, you're true. I didn't.
With that, as you do that, however, you hear a chuckle in the distance as Strahd sort of he looks in your general direction and looks over you all and then simply says, "Seem to have misplaced something. I think I might know where it is." And then turns and heads back into the forest.
Emily is going to put the two little ones down and begin to cross the river back again.
Really?
Yep. Like, she's not going to get to the other side, but she's definitely wanting a piece of Strahd.
As you drop the two little ones and start, what sort of pace are you walking across the river in elk form?
Or just
a standard pace?
Yeah, slow pace.
Which is 60 foot is your standard average pace. So Emily takes two or three large steps and gets to the riverbed and starts to cross. Does anyone react?
Yeah, Adok is going to reach into his bag, pull out the jar of spider venom, dip it into a dart, and run after Emilia.
You will, what is your movement speed?
30 feet.
You will not even get close. She is twice as quick as you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely shoot it at her, but you're not going to get close to her. She's way faster than you, so she's closes that distance very quickly. Anyone else going to react?
So what is she doing?
I'm going to shoot her.
She's just walking towards where Strahd left.
Yep, I'm going to shoot
You're gonna shoot
Emilia in the ass.
Okay. Roll to hit. I know exactly what you're doing too.
18 to hit.
I think that hits.
Yep, there.
What HP has the elk got?
Don't know.
I don't think it's huge amounts. 14 damage anyway.
Giant elk's got 42 health.
You took the damage, so what do? You get shot in the ass. By people said you hear the rifle fire and you get shot in the butt. What do you do, Emilia?
Emily will turn around.
And I'll say, come back here.
Emily will turn around, but she obviously seeing Strahd would trigger her desire to get to him.
Yeah. Which
Well,
kind of makes sense.
In that case, I'm going to run up to her.
She stopped when she got shot and turned back.
She'll return back to the group.
Okay. Then
She
I'm not
stopped
doing
and then
that.
turned back. The one thing you would have noticed, Emilia, is as you started approaching, the wolves sort of coalesced together to form almost a inhuman wall to stop. They would definitely have attacked you if you'd gone across the river. They were definitely protecting their master, 100%.
I was never planning to get that far, but I knew it was just a case of him seeing me coming up to him.
Yeah. So is there anything else you wish to discuss before we finish up tonight?
Just as they were doing that, Kana sort of called out, because you said Strahd was sort of walked away and the
He
wolves
turned
closed
and
in,
walked.
right?
Yep.
As he was walking, as that was all going on, Kana sort of loaded one more silver coin into the crossbow, and he would have gone, "Well, you know what, Strahd? I'm fucking unbalanced," and I'll fire another one.
Just at anything, or just
No,
just
this time
randomly?
I aim at the werewolf.
At the werewolf,
With
okay.
an 11. Yeah.
11? Yeah, no, they would miss.
No, didn't. Yeah.
Full short, we go, boo, ding, ding.
That is
Can't take 20 psychic damage for big unbalance. And we'll call it a session there, guys. That is probably the perfect place to call it. Well done on the encounter. I wasn't sure how long you guys were going to try and stick that out, but as you could probably tell, there was no way you were going to survive that if you stayed. That was an unsurvivable encounter, and you handled it pretty well. So you did well done to you guys.
Well, even at the beginning when you said there was like 8 to 12, so 15 or whatever wolves first, I was like, uh-oh, this isn't good. That's why we were in the cart going, man.
Yeah. It was just unfortunate that, the horse's AC is quite low.
It was unfortunate the cart's a piece of crap as well.
Well, that too. That certainly didn't help.
Do you think they'll give us a refund on it now, or?
I'm gonna go and collect a part and take the fucking thing back and say it just fell apart on us.
Yeah. Okay.
It'll definitely make for an interesting.
Oh, Fibble, do you have meat?
Okay.
I don't think men's going to fix it.
It's going to have to do a lot of mending.
I've got
You would-
men. What I was
It's gonna take
actually
you- it's
going
gonna
to do
take you
while
2 or
we're
3
still in the car
days.
was cast mend while
Oh,
we're
well,
riding, so they could be repairing it while we're going.
That would have done. That
That's
would
a
have
good
worked.
idea.
That would have worked
Yeah.
because it's
But
first,
then,
only took
you know,
5 damage that first
some-
attack, but yeah.
Someone had to get bit and turn back into a fucking person, didn't they?
Just before we finish up, Skathis, I need you to roll another Constitution saving throw for me.
Ooh.
Now,
Ooh.
every-
What'd you get?
Ooh.
19.
19. You're feeling okay, but that wound does not look good. It doesn't look like it's going to close anytime soon. You've got a very large open wound across your neck. Make note of that. So, chat. What a night, eh? Cast members will go around and do our usual. We will get some moments from everybody. Zadriel, if you want to jump into Skype while we finish this up, you are more than welcome to.
No, Zadriel can fuck right off. She's not been here.
No, don't do that. I'll be in
Sorry.
trouble.
Sorry, Andy, it's all good.
I'll be in trouble.
I know Yanti's not feeling very well, so I hope she gets better soon. Welcome back to everyone that's come back from our regular channel viewers. Welcome again. Good to see you all here. So, firstly, Emilia, he's still here. There he is, hiding behind his elk skin.
Yeah.
Moments from the chat from tonight's episode from you, please.
Okay, I've literally got half a page.
Make it 2 then. We don't want to give we want to give everyone a chance to say something. So.
Somebody mentioning that when they put the cart outside the Vistani thing, that they might steal it and put it up on blocks.
Yes, that was Karnos. I expected that from Baz.
And Addox scream. I'll leave it at that.
No worries. Skathis.
Yeah, I can't really put a finger on
Really?
this moment.
There was some cool
Yeah.
moments tonight, dude. Honestly.
I'd
There's
have to
heaps.
say the banter about the bloody cart, if anything. Putting it up on blocks, no, it won't get stolen. It's too crappy for that. And then it falling to pieces anyway.
It didn't really fall to pieces. It got destroyed because it was moving
fell to pieces.
at great rate
Come
of
on, no,
knots.
it fell to pieces.
Karnos not recognizing Zadriel's a pretty woman from Yanti. I was going to mention that. It was quite good. Yeah, Addoc.
Yeah, I've got a couple as well. I think Drax speaking Elvish to cast Tidal Wave. That was sick. That was cool. Well done, man.
I think
enjoyed
if we don't mention that, there'll be a disservice. Well done, Drax.
Yeah, that was fucking sick. I had Lord of
Has
the-
Yanti be teaching you?
No, that was Lord
Wrong
of the Rings,
campaign.
actually.
Yes.
Yeah, I had Lord of the Rings, like literal vibes of the Tidal Wave coming through.
That scene in the first Lord of the Rings where Arwen casts the thing to kill the ring wraiths and
Yeah.
the wolves coming down the path, I used that and just rehashed a few of the words to meet the situation.
That's cool, man.
But
Well
that is
done.
where that speech came from.
Very well done, my friend.
Yeah, I could cover also Fibble as well, just with these little ad libs here and there. Like, you know, when Addoc said thank you, he was like, was that Addoc just now? And also with the talking about the Vistani, about last time when we ended up drinking. We ended in Barovia, so if we end up drinking, we'll end out of Barovia, which
It was
Yeah, that's
a
how to say it.
legitimate thought. I mean,
yeah.
makes
Oh,
perfect
yeah.
sense.
And
Logic.
his little, exactly, like right after Emilia cast Tidal Wave, just I could just imagine Fibble when he said, like, where the fuck did that come from? Yeah.
100%. Fibblestib.
Well, everyone's mentioned all the things I wanted to say.
What's the thing about this? I
Niche.
mean, the moments that stand out are normally the moments that stand out. So
Yeah, well, definitely Drax's use of, doing tidal wave. That was a
it was a well placed spell.
I
at
was
the
waiting
right
for
time.
an abused cantrip, but then he used an actual spell, so it was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, like it's like I used a flick of water. I'm sitting there going, what's he gonna do? If I can turn it into ice and hit him with an icicle, or it turns it into a tidal wave, and it's like, well, fuck, that's pretty cool.
It was a really good use of that spell, 100%.
Yeah, so it was really good, and I was actually sitting there going, wait a minute, when he was going to turn into the elk and take us and go away, I was actually going to suck down one of the potions that I got and sit there flying 10 feet up in the air, just burning the fucking place down. Just spread the fire towards the Vistani and kill them. But no, I didn't get that
Yeah,
far.
that's right, Jax. I remember that. Beach. Was at the river's edge, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, when she's carrying Frodo when he's
Yeah.
unconscious to Rivendell.
It's good speech.
Carnos!
Yeah. Yep. Like I enjoyed the chase parts as something different. The chase in general, like getting onto the cart, getting knocked off the cart, fighting for a little bit, then running into the forest, just felt a little more. What's the word I'm looking for? It felt a little more realistic, you know. It had that realism sense about it, a bit more scary in that sense of the characters were in more danger than they had been previously.
Yeah, well, I mean, the idea obviously was to have sort of that foreboding event where you're just being swamped by wolf upon wolves, like waves of wolves, and then dire wolves and werewolves, just looking at it and thinking, oh crap, there's no way we're going to get through this. If we stay here and fight, we're going to die.
Yeah.
So it kind of leaves you with no choice but to run.
And then when we get to the camp and Giovanni and his party are serving drinks and they're dancing, and Fibble goes, that's the sign to kill them all. Yeah,
Yep.
that's pretty good.
Yanti Skaith is doing, do you think we can get our money back on the cart to Carlos? Yeah, in the most inopportune moment as well. But funny nonetheless. A horse is now a person. Yay. Oh, yes. Carnos's regalia of the Sanctum experience. Yeah, that was awesome. Had to have that in there. But yeah, well done to everyone again. A great show. Chat, awesome to have you guys with us. Any other moments from the chat? Cam's recorder use, yes, throwing the recorder in there has been definitely, and of course Adoc's scream, which was clipped, by the way. So if you want to see it again, go check out the clips. I probably will post it in Discord if it hasn't been already.
I think that's actually the second time it's been clipped anyway.
Probably.
I think there was another time he did the scream too.
I think so, yeah.
The Emily is actually talking about sitting down and next to that dude and listening for his heartbeat too. I thought that's actually a really good way to figure out if he was a vampire or not. I didn't even think about it until she said it, and I was like, hey, she's checking out whether he's a vamp.
Yours.
Yeah.
I've been contemplating whether or not I'm going to end up feeding on somebody. And if they were going to go, yeah, we've got Zadriel, fuck you, he was going to be the first person to die. And she was going to drink him flat.
Yeah, interesting course of events. I mean, there's so many things that could have happened in both those events. I mean, the way you guys handled the Vistani in general, just keeping you cool, doing the drinky thing, not really being confrontational, definitely changed the whole sort of air about that encounter in itself. It could have gone way differently. Obviously, towards the end there, the things were getting a little bit tense with weapons being drawn and that sort of thing as well. But again, the way you handled that definitely changed how things could have happened. Could have been a completely different encounter. But I quite enjoyed. I mean, like I said, I enjoyed the chase, the wolves. I'd always planned from day one to have you guys attacked by a pack of wolves at some point. I was kind of hoping it's going to be a random encounter. But if it was a random encounter, it wouldn't have been as many, and you probably would have gotten through them scratched, but not dead kind of thing. But this one was never going to be about you guys winning. It was going to. I wasn't sure whether you guys were going to run there for a moment because when Emilia said, "I'm going to turn into an elk," sort of go back and turn so the little ones can shoot from her mouth. I'm thinking, Yeah, if you do that, you're probably not going to survive. You're going to end up getting attacked by a pack of wolves. Even as an elk, they're going to take you down.
I actually
So I
had
was a little
moment.
concerned.
I had a moment on the cart, you know, where I misty stepped before everything went to hell. I was going to misty step behind the wolves.
Yeah.
And let the cart go and sacrifice myself.
Really? Oh, interesting.
Just to see what would happen if Strahd would keep me or not. I contemplated it for about 3 seconds and went, "No, fuck that."
That could have changed a few things.
I'm a hero, not a martyr.
But that's just it,
crossed my
though, eh?
mind.
It's just decisions you sort of, during the heat of the battle, the heat of the moment, you think, okay, what if? Should I do this? What would that do to the story? What would that do to my character, to the group? I mean, as it is, you're one down already. You're not sure where Zadriel's gone or what's happened.
Well, I'm starting to come to the conclusion she's gone and betrayed us or something like that.
You're just saying that because of the whole fucking Namara situation.
Yep, absolutely.
You're predisposed, man.
If anyone's going to betray us, it'll be Yanti. Oh no, hang on. She's not nutty.
Yeah, she's not nutty. She wouldn't do that.
Yeah, in the chat, dude, my name's not
I was
nutty.
actually seriously contemplating just going, nah, fuck it, I'm just going to kill myself and keep on going. That's what, if we're going to die, we're going to die. So come on, bring it on.
Well, that's it. I mean, I did.
Should have gone that way too.
I was a little concerned that you guys were just going to stay and fight to the death because you all would have died if you'd stayed. I can guarantee you that.
Hey, that first group wasn't too bad, okay?
Not Adok. Adok would have ran for the fucking hills.
But I said you guys handled it well. I mean, I'm not sure what hit points you got down to. I know you guys all took reasonable damage. Not huge damage, but enough to sort of make you think maybe it is time to run.
11.
If this was close.
You got to
I
11?
got
I think I'm at 17. Yeah, I'm at 17. I was seriously just going, fuck it.
So
Let's see what happens.
you're down under 20, so it's not too bad. Another round of attacks, you would have all been killed.
No, I would have lasted 2 or 3 more rounds probably.
How much did you get down to?
40 something.
Oh, so you were right. Ismark got down to about 18.
Yeah, 40 something. I think the lowest I got was 25 before I rehashed, but just I just got my shield out, so it would have helped out a lot better. I think I would have started at least 1 or 2 more rounds at least.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, I mean, when I say you would have died for sure, you don't know what Strahd would have done. I mean, I have got a table for that too. So there's lots of roles in this game for what Strahd would do or
weird
not
that you're
do.
at full health. Yeah, weird.
Yeah, it's weird that Zadriel's at full health, isn't it?
I didn't get touched till that basically second set of wolves
Yeah.
came out. I think I took my first hit then when Ismark got down to 18.
Yeah, when the pack sort of closed in and you're taking multiple attacks.
So
Man, I
when
rolled
that
some natural
pack
20s in there
surrounded you.
too. Holy shit. I think I rolled 4 or 5 natural 20s in a series of attacks.
Lots of attacks.
Funny
I
'cause
mean, when you're making 6 to 8 attacks every sort of
At
attack
advantage.
round at advantage. Yeah. So,
when I got turning into the elk, I figured I had 3 choices. One was to heal Scathus because I know he got fucked up in that last thing. 2 was to turn into some sort of animal and cover the others. And 3 was turn into a flying bird and fly the fuck away and leave everyone.
hey, I mean, choices, man.
And that's why I was just like,
But yeah, so well done, team. Another great session. Obviously, this VOD will be up on YouTube within a couple of days. What's the Wednesday? Be Friday at the latest. Obviously, Friday night, make sure you're hanging out with us over on Yanti's channel for the I Spy Peak. I'm pretty sure we're going ahead with that this week.
Did you not have one last week, eh?
No.
Sweet, that's right. I thought I missed one. I was like,
It
no.
was Silic's birthday last week.
My birthday, so we took it off.
That's right.
So I Spy Peak this Friday. Come and see us get killed by a dragon or a dead dragon, a skeleton dragon thing.
So yeah, don't forget inspiration advantages to the DM. All good.
You're an idiot, Trash.
So yeah, make sure you come and hang out with us over on Yanti's channel on Friday for that. Then back here on Sunday for more Vampire the Masquerade. Exclamation point YT in the chat for the YouTube, which will give you the access to the VODs for the Vampire the Masquerade and the everything else. Everything's up there. Like I said at the start of the show, we've had over 30 views on our Vampire the Masquerade session 1 in 2 days. So it is there is a lot of people out there that are into Vampire the Masquerade and obviously enjoyed it enough to watch it, which is really cool. So definitely keen to keep that going. Obviously, we're noobish at it. We're still learning some bits and pieces, but it was a lot of fun. We're learning how the roles go and all that sort of stuff. So it's definitely exciting, something different. It was up to 43 already. Holy shit. There you go. We've had 8 views since we started tonight. That's awesome. That's not quite my top viewed video yet, but it's definitely getting up there. I think my most viewed video is over 200 and something views. And that was the tutorial I did for Scorpbot way back in Mixer days. But yes, so I have been working with Foundry today again. I must say Foundry hurts my head a lot, but I've learnt a whole heap of shit today. And have gotten a couple of battle maps just about done. Once I complete them, I'm probably going to grab a few of you that are in the campaign too and give you access to it, so we can maybe do just a mock-up, play around on the map, just so you guys get a bit of a look-see at what it looks like from a player's perspective as well. Drax was having a bit of a toolie with me the other day. I've added some audio to it now, so there's ambient audio and lighting and all sorts of stuff now as well. So it's actually starting to look pretty cool. Lots of work in it, but I think it'll be worth it. I think I've got the streaming view sorted as well. Anywho, we should probably think about raiding. I know people have got to go to work tomorrow. Why does my dark mode keep switching? Who is streaming?
Yeah, I should go. I just realised the time. Thank you, everybody.
No worries, dude. We will see you on Saturday, sir, for the birthday
sci-fi one shot.
A sci-fi one shot, even better.
Happy birthday, dude, by the way.
Yeah, so
thank you.
It was for the 4th, guys. So May the 4th be with you. And Baz, as it is his birthday.
Yeah.
That was yesterday.
It
Happy
was.
birthday for yesterday.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you later.
Catch you on the weekend, bud.
Hey, Baz.
So who are we going to raid, guys? We got
Last Archives. So doing D&D, they've got low numbers.
Give me type your name in the chat so I can copy and paste it. I don't think I have them on the follow list. Oh, Lost Archives. I think I might be following them. I will see after. There you guys. So don't forget Friday, Yanti's channel. Come hang out with us. Watch us get smushed by a skeletal dragon. Are you saying following them? And back here on Sunday for some. Actually, tomorrow. Back here tomorrow to do some Resident Evil The Village demo. 8 o'clock. Come and hang out if you want to see some spooky stuff with the new Resident Evil The Village. Demo is available on Steam. Come on, Cam.
Fuck no. Fuck no. We still have to do Man of Medan.
Yes, we still have to do that at some point.
Forward to.
We do have to do that at some point. We'll have to
Man of what?
Man of Medan. It is a thriller / horror live action game. Very short, but it's a lot of fun.
Is that the one on the boat?
Yes.
I saw a video about that today.
Yeah, I watched another person stream it at one point, and it was pretty creepy, but a lot of fun. So it's co-op, a lot of decision making, sort of you have almost pick a path type stuff. You do things a certain way, and the outcome turns out whether you succeed on certain decisions and stuff. So it's actually pretty cool. But yes, Cameron owns it, and we've been trying to organise to actually get it played at some point, and it's never sort of lined up, but we will get there at some point.
Yeah.
Second game, you saw Last Hope second game from them? Oh, cool. Yes, Cam did the second game with a friend of his, and yeah, that was funny as hell to watch.
Just screaming the whole time. It's not okay. I had to drown
New
myself
Hope.
in a bottle of wine to get through it.
But yeah,
Yeah,
so
but you
tomorrow
had the-
night, about 8 p.m. New Zealand time, so about 6 p.m. Australian, we're going to be doing the Resident Evil demo. I've got it downloaded, ready to go. So come and join me for that. Then again on Friday over on Yanti's channel for some more D&D, and then back here on Sunday for Vampire. Until then, take care, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks, players, for joining me once again. See you next time.